Welcome back to Behind the Vocals. This week we are joined by the one and only Evan Qualls of Way Down. It's an amazing episode where we talk all things vocals, hardcore, Nashville scene, nostalgia, former venues up there, and much, much more. It's an awesome episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was a great conversation. So without further ado, let's get into the episode. All right, we are joined by the one and only Sir Evan Qualls of Way Down. Sir, how are you doing? So excited to have you.
What's up, man? Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely, man. It's a pleasure to have you. It's been a long time since I've seen you and chatted with you, so I'm stoked to talk all things vocals and pick your brain and see what you're up to because I can't wait to dive into it.
I hope there's something in there worth picking.
Oh, there's plenty in there. I have no doubt at all. No doubt in my mind. First and foremost, new songs. I want to kind of just jump into those. You have 2 songs out right now with your new band. You and your brother are throwing down again, and I love seeing it. And man, hitting people in the feels with the latest one. Not gonna lie, I got excited. The title of it is 722. It's my birthday, so I was like, oh, they're dropping a track on my birthday. And then I read the stuff and I was like, damn, just got my heart on my birthday. Just like went in, dude. It's a hell of a song. It's an emotional song. You guys crushed it. It just all around. It's fantastic, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah, that's happened a lot actually with like something negative will happen and then somebody else is like super celebrating something positive. And I've just chucked that up to life.
Yeah.
Like I know a ton of people whose birthdays are on spoiler alert, people's birthday is on like the day somebody else has died. Or your birthday is on a shitty day for someone else, you know? So like I've seen it happen so much that it doesn't like strike me as odd, but when I see it, I'm like, oh fuck, it's their birthday. That's sick, but
Yeah. Track is heavy though, and I think you guys did an awesome job, you know, just with the memory and with everything. Like it is the teaser was awesome, the lyrical content's awesome, the music's awesome, and the emotion in your voice, like the tone and stuff you had, just chef's kiss. Good job.
oh, thank you, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You guys brought it, and so it was really sick. And I know you're proud of it. I know for sure you guys are stoked on it, so
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
absolutely. But what I like to do to kind of start the podcast, for those that may not know much about you or anything, I just kind of like to give you the floor, let you introduce yourself, tell a little bit about yourself, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. My name's Evan Qualls. I sing for Way Down. We're out of Nashville. I'm a tattooer and business owner. I believe in Nashville hardcore. That's about it.
I love it, love it. You've been in the scene for. Before we get into the vocal questions, God, dude, you've been in the scene for a long
Forever.
time.
I've been going to shows before I could drive. I think I think a lot of people sometimes start there, or I had to stop myself saying that because I would suggest that be an entry point is like before you can drive, before you get to high school, like go to a show and see this shit before like you get really older. I don't really understand how it would be entering the scene now. I think I would be very judgmental toward it and not really understand it, to be honest.
Yeah, man, the scene back then, God, it was so different. I've talked about that on this a lot. Like just music from like early 2000s to 2010s to now, and the industry is vastly different. Because I mean, you remember like the going around handing out flyers and
Yeah.
like all the stuff pre-sale, everything, which pre-sale's still a thing, but like promotion's different. Like we had MySpace, like that was pretty much that was it.
Yeah, hell yeah, you said it. That's sick.
And then that was it. And now, I mean, there's social media on social media on social media and content and everything. Like it's so different. But man, there's something to be said about the generation and the group that was back in the Muse days. For those that are from Nashville and know what we're talking about. It was
You're
such
saying
a
half the stuff I'm already thinking, to be honest. And I want to say this really quick before I lose it. Do you remember band layouts like for MySpace where like you were dropping like a fucking EP and can I curse on here?
yeah.
Okay, shit. You would drop an EP and then like you would have to have the sickest fucking background to your MySpace where no one could probably read your shit in your bio. Have a sick ass like it was all HTML. I didn't know that stuff either.
God, dude, MySpace days. It was the Wild West. But there's something to be said about the networking back then. Like, networking on MySpace days used to be really good, which I mean now MySpace isn't a thing, but like I can't tell you how many bands I'd met and like friends I made through MySpace. I booked tours through MySpace back in the day.
Yo,
Like,
I booked a
crazy.
tour that imploded on MySpace.
That happens too. That definitely-
Yeah, where promoters don't show up and they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we didn't really book that date," and it's like, "Oh, I drove to Florida for this." Fuck.
Yeah. That sadly there was a lot of that. I can't tell you. There was several shows where, oh yeah, here's your guarantee, and we go, and then they're like, where's the promoter? Oh, he dipped before your set. It's like,
Yeah.
nice, thanks.
Or like, hey, last minute somebody's house burned down, and this is actually like a charity show for them. So like, you understand, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess.
Weird
I'm just gonna
excuses.
burn my car leaving.
shady promoters. That was a
Well,
thing.
I was gonna say, dude, it's like we're linked in right now. No plug right there, but MySpace dealings was like drug dealers, and like, hey, I'm Edge, but it literally was like you're messaging somebody, and somebody would just be so standoffish, or like, oh yeah, well, if you could scratch my back, I can do that for you. You know, I didn't run into like the internet seems like a happier place now. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Back then, like you said, the Wild West, it was very like somebody's gonna let you in the back door to maybe do this, but it might be dangerous.
Yeah. Dude, it's amazing we all survived the Muse. There's a lot of like, I guess not negative things, but people talk bad about the Muse just because it was very rough. But for me, I know it was rough, and I accepted that early on. I was like, the Muse could get pretty rough. Like, somebody's probably getting their ass
100%.
kicked, or multiple people. But I know Leon and them, like, they had whatever issues, but they always made the sound good. They cared. Like, they listened to feedback, and we threw down on there. Like, it was kind of a home away for home from us,
100%.
despite how rough it was. But I loved it because, dude, when the crowd was into the Muse, it was full, like, no holds bar. Like, everything was on the table. It was wild.
Man, I think that's every scene, to be honest. Like, you're going to beat the shit out of each other, but you're like, this is our scene. I'll see that guy at the next show. We'll beat each other up at that one, too. But, like, people can't come in from outside. And I've got tons of stories about that. But what? Not to take us off track. My first experience at the Muse, me, Jared, and two of our childhood friends hopped in my mom's car, and for some reason she was like, yeah, you can go to Nashville and see this show. And I was 14. And
If only they knew then
where
they were going.
And like, I don't know if they, I don't even know if they knew or like didn't know. I don't think they didn't care. It wasn't like that, but they were like, yeah, you just go have fun. They didn't think it was a church, but they were like, yeah, sure, go do that. And Jared drove, and Jared was the only one old enough to drive. He was like 16. We were young, and we got to the Muse, and for anybody that's not been there before, you roll up to this very dingy, black painted cinder block building that's not very big, and there's a lot of characters standing outside of it that just look dangerous. Maybe not anymore. Maybe they just look like scene kids, but I was 14. So through a 14-year-old's eyes, I was like, whoa, this is fucking crazy. The fence on the outside's leaned over like that, like somebody died on it, you know?
Probably did.
Yeah, there's a porn shop behind it.
Yep.
And you roll in, and you think you might get an STD walking through the building, and you meander past the bar, which I don't even understand how we got in there being a bar. Much love to the Muse, not even upset about that, but you meander through, you get to the back, and I literally was like, we might die here, you know, like you said. And Dissect the Coroner was playing.
Shout out to Dissect, man. God, I remember watching them. I still have that shirt somewhere in like my nostalgia saved band shirts. The Take This Axe.
Oh, okay.
Is it Dispose Him or whatever on the back? You know how like it was a white shirt with like broke down.
I just know they had the twins
Yep.
on vocals, and I was like, that's fucking cool. I pretty much thought everything about their band was sick. And they were opening for Amir when Goodbye to the Gallows came out, and it was '06, probably '07, like right when this came out. They were second on the bill. It was Dissect, Amir, From a Second Story Window, and then See You Next Tuesday.
Wow.
Or See You Next Tuesday, then From a Second Story Window. Like, anyways, it was that tour, and Dissect's playing. And I have this story a lot, actually, and it goes like this. We're there 10 minutes, getting moshed on, and the lights come on, and there's a huge fight in the corner. And there's like 12 people just beating the shit out of each other. There's no security, so it's going to stop whenever it stops. And
I don't know that they ever had security, did they? If they did, he hired
Ray.
like one person, but it never
they
like
had unmentionable and canceled Ray.
Yeah.
But and if anybody went to the Muse, you know about who I'm talking about. But that after that happened, I was like, we gotta leave after Amir plays. Like we're gonna fucking die being here, you know. I had never seen anything like that. Cookeville wasn't like that. You went to Nashville to go see shit. You went to Nashville and basically the Muse of Rocket Town, which is Muse all day, to go see really cool stuff. We didn't have the internet like it is now, so, you know, just for the people that are watching that don't know. We didn't have that, so you had to go to a show to find any of this out. And we left right after Amir played. It was badass. It changed my life. That place became home.
It man. I remember the first time I went, like you said, I remember going in, I'm like, this is actually where a show's gonna happen. Like, it's just dingy, it's dirty looking. The bathroom, we don't even want to talk about. The bathroom was disgusting.
My friends that tour, shout out Mike from Acacia Strain. Mike straight up talks about that venue still. Like, not like in conversation off top of the head, but whenever I bring it up to him, he'll bring up the bathroom.
It was awful. I remember the first time I walked in, I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's like, I've got to piss. You walk in there and then you're like, I might hold it.
Yeah, it was nasty. You brought up the porn shop. That is, anytime I talk to somebody, I'm like, it's toured a long time. I'm like, you remember the Muse? They're like, yep. I'm like, or they'll be like, I'm pretty sure I remember that place in Nashville. I'm like, porn shop. And they're like, oh, yeah, the porn shop behind it. Because every touring band's like, yo, there's a porn shop. So they would always have to like go see what's up and then come back. And then they're all excited. And then you see the bathrooms and shit.
And I was 14, which, I mean, the porn shop probably had a better bathroom.
Muse only had one bathroom, right?
The one.
Yeah, it was the one in the actual, like, where the show happened.
If they had a secret bathroom, I didn't know about it.
They might have had one upstairs eventually, because I know they moved the bar upstairs near the end or something. Like, they put an upstairs area for everything. It was wild.
Oh, man. I thought that's where they were hiding the computers, but we won't go there.
Oh, my God. But as dirty as the Muse was, dude, that's their sound system, like, was insane. Everything sounded so much heavier there.
Dude, I loved it. I would go there on a Tuesday. Like, living in Cookeville, driving an hour after school got out, going to see whatever band, and there's 8 kids there, and I fucking loved it. Yeah. I loved that place. Was really bummed out when it shut down.
It's a Domino's now, but I have so many good memories there. I know a lot of people, like, they'll bash it, and they'll be like, oh, the Muse was awful. I'm like, I mean, it was, but it wasn't. Like, at the same time, like, I was cool with Logan, the owner. I was cool with his brother, Leon, that did sound. Like, they treated us really well every time we were there. Like, whether we were playing or not, like, they were super nice to us. Yeah. And, like, took care of us.
Logan got to the point, and, shout out Logan. He was literally, he would just say, yeah, what show do you want to get on? And he'd open the computer calendar and be like, just put yourself on the calendar. And we were like, oh, holy shit.
I'll never forget I think whenever I was first, like, booking us up there, because we had a little bit of drive to get there. What band did you play for? I played for Resurrect at first, and so I got Resurrect up there. And then I joined, or we founded Sirens Fall Silent, and I was doing that.
Okay.
So I remember And I already had connection with Logan. Like, I think before Resurrect, I'd already booked a couple shows with him. And by that point, he had just gave me his calendar. Like, he was just like, here's the thing. When shows come up, so, like, I would know shows, touring packages he signed and, like, booked before they're announced. I'd be like, yo, Logan, what's up with this show? And he would just be like, can you do X number of pre-sales? Like, yeah, I got you. He's like, on the bill. I'm like, I love you, Logan. You're the shit.
Yes. And that, dude, I think that's so important for, like, anybody watching that's like, you have to play this venue a lot and meet people and know those people and play the shitty shows before they're like,
oh, for sure.
You know?
Play
when
the shows
like,
with like
hey,
3 kids throwing
hungry.
down, or just the other bands, and then you get the All Shall Perish, the the Muir shows, like, because those shows are
those were nuts.
Yeah, I want to say the last Muse show we played was Carnifex, All Shall Perish, and somebody else. I want to say Ancients was on there with us.
Hell yeah.
And it was just, dude, you're talking about people just getting their ass kicked. Like, there were so many bloody people walking around. Like, I was doing merch after our set, and I was just, like, watching the bodies come through. I'm like, Jesus.
Yo, for real, I mean, at that time, I think maybe, I don't know, I think deathcore was really big here.
Yeah.
And it still is, and I was going to say, I don't know if Whitechapel had a lot to do with that just because they were like 2 hours away in Knoxville, but like, yeah, every band you just named, Carnifex.
Rose Funeral might have been on that tour, but I can't remember. There was one more band, and I don't remember who it was, but it was a band like in that same realm and genre, and like,
yeah. I feel like All Shall Perish is in that.
Dude, they were so good live too.
As Blood Runs Black, Ancients, I feel like was on that.
Yeah,
and
shout out to Ancients. I loved Clint. Clint is most of the band. Like, those are all homies.
Great, dude. He was an awesome person to hang out with too.
Yes,
he was always like really stoked.
Yeah, he's like the band dude that, like, no matter what, he was just like friendly to you. He was throwing down for every band. Like, it did not matter. He's out there going hard in the pit for you.
Well, I've seen that not change. Like, in the scene today, I can notice the kids that are into deathcore. Like, they just mosh a certain way.
Yeah.
And it's fucking sick to see. But also at the same time, I feel like back then, and maybe still, it depends on the venue, you'd have a lot of metal people show up that didn't understand what was happening. So a lot of fights would happen.
Yeah.
Because the two crowds would intermingle, and that wouldn't go well.
You always had the one, at least one, like, older drunk guy that would just be oblivious to everything and would end up getting, like, knocked out or something by, like, a mosher, just because he's like, I'm gonna stand in the middle of the pit and just being dumb. And
oh god,
there was always the one, like, you could always count on and be like, oh, that's the dude that by the end of the night he's gonna be out somewhere.
I have so many of these stories that just jogged a memory. Went to the Muse. Our friend brought a person that doesn't go to shows, that does not understand what was happening.
Did they warn him before, at least? Did they give him, like, the disclaimer?
I want to say no.
Every time we would bring somebody that was like, I want to watch your band, it's like, all right, we're playing the Muse. Look, it's going to get rowdy. So get in the back, get away. Like, if you're anywhere close to this, you're going to get hit. And there's nothing
nowhere else to stand.
Yeah.
Like you're going to get moshed off.
Yeah. It's like, so here's kind of the rules. This is what to expect. It's going to get rough. So you're warned. Like, I don't want to hear shit about it afterwards.
Dude, I just love that, like, and for the people watching, you just have to love this shit to, like, understand what I'm saying. I literally have 3 stories off the top of my head, which I've already said one, which was Amir. This other one was the Amir Mosh Lives tour. And our friend had brought homies from his hometown, which I don't think they got the heads up. And even if they did, they were football players, and they were like, whatever, I'll fuck that guy up. And then they get hit, and he goes to fuck the guy up. So we've been there 5 minutes. They're already fighting, and then the whole moshers are just fighting all of them. And we've been there for 5 minutes, and it's funny talking about this, how, like, consistently I have that story.
That's how it was, though. I mean, you can pretty much, like, guarantee it's
how
going to happen.
It still is.
God, I miss the Muse. I
I
have
have an updated story that is exactly like that, but I gave my friend the heads up, and it did happen.
it will. You have to warn people there. It's like I like heavy music, but they don't really. Their heavy music is not what we consider heavy music.
There, dude, there's such a line for real. There's such a line between like, and like, hey, no disrespect to anybody, um, and I'm not sugarcoating that shit. I mean it in like a heartfelt way that like some people jump in. I think a lot of people listen to what they're presented
Mm-hmm.
versus going to find music, you know?
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of people that discover what's popular. Like Knocked Loose is a great example. There's a ton of people that probably like their band now that they're popular. But when they weren't, when I was seeing them to like 30 to 60 kids, a lot of people wouldn't have went. But
Yeah.
because it's like, oh, I don't want to miss out. That's the cool thing. Everybody's going. They have the shirt. I want to go. They get into like the surface level bands, which is cool for that band to break the surface, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
But when they find out about that and then go to like a DIY venue that has like a up and coming band and then their fan base is like way more nitty gritty and gonna beat the crap out of everybody like Knock Loose's fans used to,
Yeah.
they're like, what the hell? I hate this. You know, so when you said there's people that don't like the Muse, it's like, yes, you can criticize the venue, sure, but anyone that said they didn't like it there probably got moshed on,
Yeah.
you know, and like cried about it.
I mean, I got hit, but I mean, I was in the wrong place, like wrong spot.
Yeah,
Like
I got
you
caught.
learn. I'm like, okay, I probably shouldn't stand here because they're, wall to wall right here, just throwing down. Like, lesson
That's love
learned.
of
I
the
moved on
game,
the next
dude.
spot.
I think that's love of the game, man. If you can stand to get moshed on, you love that shit.
Oh yeah,
Like I never played football, but I would understand that like I'm sure getting tackled sucks. And every time you play, you're going to get tackled. And it's like it's either you can do it or you fucking don't play.
yeah,
You know, and I really relate it to that or hockey, you know, moshing and like don't stand next to the pit if you don't want to get
yeah,
hit. I'm sorry. Like people just don't watch out and then they get smacked and then they say, "Why me?"
yeah. Read the room. I can't tell you how it was always a great feeling though. Like you finish a set and like people always come up talk to you like they were out there moshing stuff, shirt off, like you can tell they've been bleeding. They're like marks all over them. Like
Yeah.
you had a good time. They're like that was sick. I'm like you had a really good time. I appreciate you. Like that was fun.
Yeah.
I always love
Yeah.
that.
Dude, there's not like moshing is sick. I love moshing, but there's like a different feeling when you're watching people mosh. And it's been a long time since I've played in a band that had mosh because Way Down hasn't played yet. But I remember my old band Eve of Shadows when we would play. For some reason, I thought I think our breakdowns were definitely where like it was. We were jacking like Parkway and Amur and Recon hard, but there was something that I didn't understand that we were doing. We were tapping into like the Thick as Blood. Um,
Ooh.
Not so much Have Heart, but like Legia, that kind of like mass Connecticut mosh. We were kind of tapping on that to where like honestly where I think metalcore and like hardcore is today and how much they like look back at early 2000s. I feel like we were doing some of that to where kids were moshing and kids wanted to mosh for our band and just to full circle that was sick to watch. Like you play a breakdown and people get excited and then they start moshing their asses off. It's a different feeling than moshing.
There's no other energy to me. Like everybody has their own type of music they love, and they get into and to play. But for me, there's nothing like being on the stage and that transference of like energy. Because like the more pissed off you are, the more into it you are. You see the crowd respond, and when they respond and they're getting into it, it like comes back to you, and then you want to go harder, and it's like back and forth, and it just there's nothing like it, man. Like it's I don't know.
Dude, I miss it a ton. That's
Yeah, oh
why
yeah.
that's why we put this out. Or there's a lot of reasons why we put this out. But, dude, let me ask you this. And I know I'm the one getting asked the question, but
Okay.
let me ask you something.
All right. Role reversal.
What do you do? Do you ever get confused when you watch bands and they're heavy, but they're like, don't fuck this place up?
Well, that kind of
like
contradicts
friendly
itself.
mosh.
Yeah. I mean,
Like friendly mosh. Does that ever get confusing to you?
yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm not alone.
Yeah.
Because like I love Bill Murray, the band. If anybody's checked them out, Bill Murray is such a sick band, and they have some parts that are just so sick.
More Than Hate. Is it More Than Hate? The most recent
The
one?
new one?
Yeah, dude, that song is dumb heavy in parts. I love it.
And check out that song if you haven't. Or I'll relate it to, I think I saw your story at the Ghost Inside. And it looked like all dads and moms standing in the front. There was no pit.
Yeah. There was no room for a pit. It was kind of weird. But they were playing with Hailstorm and Volbeat, which is a wild tour for them to be on. It's a good tour for like eyeballs, right? Like they're playing to a crowd, and Vigil even said it at one point. He's just like, yo, I know we are way heavier than the other bands, and like we scream a lot and we have like heavy parts. He's like, we do some clean stuff, but
none of them scream.
No, I mean Hailstorm kind of screamed a little bit. She has like her style, but it's not anything like Ghost Inside. Like,
okay,
yeah, it was different.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I get it now that it's like, all right, I'm not gonna do it. And if I mosh around people that clearly don't understand, I'm going to like kind of do this and be like, hey, give me some room. I'm just going to contain to lose my shit. But when I was 16, me and a couple buddies would have probably tried to open that up. And maybe some of the dads would have been like, yeah, let me bump into these kids, you know?
The dude you talked about dads. There was a dude that had a shirt that said Divorced Dad Rock on the back. And I was like, that's perfect. Like, it's clearly.
It's not wrong.
No, I know. I was like, I actually love that shirt. Like, that's hilarious. He's wearing that here, like, for this show. Like, it makes so much sense.
Was he with his wife?
I have no clue. He was up in where the pit should have been. Like, I guess they would have called that just general admission or whatever. But, like, it.
Yeah.
At the end of Ghost Inside, there was two dudes like shoulder bumping, like the old school kind of mosh, and I was just like, "Come on, man! Like, I want to see you guys moving up there." And they clearly weren't there for Ghost Inside, probably, and they know that. They're just like, "Hey, hopefully you guys check us out. Like, we appreciate it."
I remember seeing the Ghost Inside at the Warehouse in Chattanooga. R.I.P. to that venue. Between the Lines, is that the album?
Yeah.
The black, red, and white one?
Yeah. Returners.
Returners, yes.
Yes, Between Lines on Returners.
That was coming out. That was about to come out. And
sick album.
Dude, they were a fucking mosh band.
Yes.
Like, I got my ass beat to their band, you know? And then to see them play now and no one's moshing, I'm just like, what happened? But I get what you're saying with the different package.
Yeah. I think it's the package for them. I'm sure if they're at festivals and all, there's way more moshing for like their songs. But I think it's just the audience they had, because it was mostly like pretty much everywhere was seats. And like that little area, like tiny area in front of the stage was the only place people could stand up. So no one could really mosh. And whoever was up there, I mean, they were horns up. That was about all they were doing. And maybe a little bit of bouncing.
That's all you get.
Yeah, that's literally about all of it. Like they were just trying to be right on the stage.
Dude, I've heard Brian from Knock Loose say that once people don't mosh, you have to get them more involved with their hands. So like hands up, or like side to side, or like head bangs. Just different ways to participate when you're playing to like a different crowd.
Yeah.
You know? And I've always felt this way. If you can no longer mosh to the band, they're huge.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because like, dude, I've just seen it. Yeah, Kublai Khan. I feel like you probably can't even mosh to them anymore.
Dude, they've been on an incline for. Dude, they're on a rocket lately. Like they're just going off.
I heard. I don't know if it was Adam on the Downbeat podcast from Orthodox, but I think he or somebody else said Kublai Khan was kind of like going like this, and then all of a sudden they went straight up. you know.
Orthodox is another one, man. They have been. Adam has stayed the course, and it is showing. Like,
Yeah,
they're crushing. I'm so happy for them.
dude, it's sick to see.
Yeah,
It's so dope to see. Like, I think they're the only Nashville band that I know of from that generation that made it out.
yeah,
You know, like Plea did. They went as far as they did. I don't know if Alert went as far, you know, but like Orthodox was almost a baby of that generation.
yeah.
And for them to, I would say, no diss, I would say they've exceeded what those two bands did. You know, I think that would be fair to say.
Yeah.
And that's really fucking cool to see.
I loved Plea too. I always really loved Plea.
Dude, I do too. I went
Plea
to their
was so
last
fun.
show and I tattooed Aaron right before it, their drummer.
Oh, that's
and,
sick.
He's still the same guy.
Dude, I think, was it Clarksville or Cookville? I'm trying to remember where we played. There was a venue, and we played with Plea. And, dude, Aaron had the most swag behind the kit. Like, I'll never forget, like, I got right there, like, because how the stage was set up, it was, like, kind of a littler stage. But, like, the drum riser was, like, right here. So, like, I was side stage, like, directly at him. And dude put his ears, like, his in-ears in. And the click track started, and he just vibed out the whole time. Like, even when Andy was talking, like, in between songs, everybody's tuning, Aaron's back there just, like, and I was like, this dude is in it right now. Like, I love this. It was so fun to watch.
He's locked in.
Yeah.
He's always locked in.
Damn, I want to remember that venue.
If it was in Cookville, it would have been when my band booked them, because we played. It wasn't.
Maybe it was Clarksville. Cookville, one place we played a skate park. Where was that?
Yeah, Amps and Ramps.
Was that Cookville?
Yeah.
Okay, we played Amps and Ramps with.
It's like a factory skate park. Plea played the community center, and we had
Empire Andromeda and some others.
That's sick.
I'm trying to think who all was there. We played a couple shows there, and then I guess it was Clarksville, but it was dude, it was a weird venue. You pulled up, it was kind of like the Muse, but like a split level Muse. Because we were like, are we even here? Like, we pulled around back, and then we saw, like,
in Clarksville?
Yeah. And it was like...
Did you play a skate park?
It wasn't a skate park there. It was like an old warehouse thing.
Dude, the last show that I played for a heavy band was filling in for Goodbye Apathy before they became the Human Condition.
Yeah.
And we played, like, this basement skate park venue in Clarksville that had a stage.
Maybe it was a skate park.
Bell.
Do you remember the name of it?
It had like a half pipe in it, like a very small one.
I don't know. I just remember, like, we played there, and like the top level was kind of like the Muse, like the entryway of the Muse, and then you went down some stairs or something, and you were like at the venue, like the actual.
Yeah, that sounds right. If there was like a skate park to your right of like, not what Rocketown had, like it was very like DIY.
Mm-hmm. I think that is it.
Very cool setup, but we played there with We Are Defiance, Monsters, and Legend.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
It was sick. Blake Hardman was filling. He was joining Legend or like filling in.
Dude, he's been a journeyman. That man has been all over. Props to him on continuing just doing the thing.
Dude, another one I'm super proud to see because, like, he's, I wouldn't say he's a product because he made his own way, but he's a product of that generation too. And we met at the Muse. I want to say at the Muse and not the Anchor, but, dude, every time I've seen him do something, he takes a step up. Every band he's joined, I think, is literally a step up, and it's really cool for me to see.
I can't remember if it was Muse or Rocketown where I met him. I just remember like meeting him, and dude gives me a hug, and like super chill dude, super nice guy. Never changed like every time I met him.
He's still the same.
Yeah, just like friendly, you know, like what's up, bro, and like come over and like talk to you, and it just awesome dude.
Yeah.
I think he was as Hell Retreats. I think when I met him, it was him and Tyler and Jackson and all.
Was Jackson playing bass or was he doing vocals at that point?
Jackson was vocals because he had the Robert Plant hair going. Like, he had the long curly hair. Because I remember first time I saw him, I was like, yo, this dude. Nelson, I think, was bass player then.
Yeah.
And the drummer, oh my God, dude.
Catharsis, but it wasn't the face down release.
Mm-mm. I'm trying to think of who the hell was the drummer. I'm trying to think of his name. I can see him.
Trent.
Trent, yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
I could see his face, but I couldn't think of his name. They were always like those dudes too. I really like the Hell Retreat dudes. I have one Muse story, and then we'll get into vocals. We completely derail, but that's what we do on this podcast.
Nah, dude. I mean, if anything, this is like Nashville lore.
Yeah.
Of like the scene in the early 2000s, which is like popping right now on the interwebs. As far as like all the bands that are popping right now were like 02, 04, 06, 08 at the latest. You know, maybe some hardcore was sick in 2014, but like we're talking about that lane of like Nashville, the scene, who came from it, our experiences. I think that's dope.
We were I was live one day and we were doing like music reactions, checking out like new music and stuff, right? And we got talking about Nashville, and someone was like, "Hey, here's such and such band playing the Muse." Like back in the day, I found this video and sent it, and I was like, "Yo, I feel like I was at this show." I was like, "This show looks familiar." And then it wasn't like 2 seconds later, I see me like on the front of the stage. I want to say Adelaide was playing. And I was messing with like Sam and them. Like I was like,
Sam playing guitar at the time?
No, Sam was doing vocals. He actually was doing vocals then. But
who was doing vocals when Sam was guitar? I remember
Blake did them for at one point.
Yeah.
And before him,
before them.
Dude, who did vocals before Blake?
Because I'm blanking on that.
I can't even remember. I know there was one. I remember Sam being guitarist because I was like, oh, he's gonna do vocals now. And then I heard him. I was like, okay, he can do vocals. Like this works.
Oh, bro, insane! I don't understand it at all. And like when Sam stepped up, here came Satan as a wiener, and dude, it was like on at that point.
That same show, because they sent it, and I was like, I remember this show, and then I was wearing the Dissect the Corner shirt. So Dissect may have played. Maybe I got that show. I don't know. Or maybe we played. I don't remember. But then I saw me, and I was like, dude, that's my shirt. I was like, oh, that's me. And then I see TJ, and I was like, we were at this show. Like, okay. It was this cool, like, I saw history there. I was like, damn, I remember this. But my other story was we were talking about the drunk mosh guys.
Yeah.
Clint, who we talked about earlier from Ancients, This Castle's a Tomb, all that. He always threw down. And I'll never forget this. Dude just kept, like, drink in hand, wandering in the middle of, like, the pit. And I'm just like, he's going to get dropped. Like, what are you doing? But I was like, you're not going to talk to him. You're not going to talk sense to him. He wasn't, like,
oh, no.
He wasn't messing with anybody. He wasn't, like, being aggressive. He was just stumbling around, like, yeah, you know, metal, whatever. And Clint was out there just throwing down hard. Cartwheels. Foot hits dude right in the jaw. Dude drops like UFC, just flat. Bam.
God.
And I was just like, oh, Clint, like being him, he's like, oh, I hit him. So he grabs him, drags him to the Muse door, like going out the back.
Yeah.
Props him up, and dude's just like out. And Clint's like, oh shit. So he's like, oh well. So he's about to go mosh. Dude wakes up and he's like, what happened? Clint's like, yo, somebody just knocked you out, bro. You all right? And he's like, yeah. He's like, sweet. Clint goes back to moshing.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta go mosh.
Yeah, it was. I just loved it. He even like, I hit you. It was just like, somebody knocked you out, bro. And dude's like, oh, okay, yeah.
Which is how it always should be. It's like, oh, I got hit. Shit. Okay, cool.
Yeah, dude just sat there for the rest of the show, just like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm cool.
Bro, it's I don't know about you, but like when you take a good one and you got to sit out, I've got mad respect for people that like get knocked out and then come back into the pit, not out of pride, but like, dude, that takes a lot to potentially get it happen again.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know?
Did you ever, I know with all your Muse, we've went on the Muse rabbit hole, but do you remember all the homeless people that would come in?
Oh, dude.
Like come in the back door of the venue where the bands are loading in and stuff?
Yep.
So many stories of like us with like other bands or touring bands where like, we've had dudes come in with like some kind of jacked up guitar and be in the middle of the pit, like throwing down. We're like, what the hell's going on? Or, there was one dude we named Scary Terry. He come in a bunch of times.
Scary Terry.
Yeah. Within the Ruins loved him. There was like a whole bunch of videos I had of him at one point of just like Scary Terry just throwing down, and they were like agging it on, making it just so much worse.
Damn.
But yeah, they would.
Dude, a very specific story for me. It was Cruel Hand, and I want to say Straight from the Path was headlining that show. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah.
Or maybe Cruel Hand played with Trapped Under Ice. but it was Straight from the Path. It was Make Your Own History. I want to say We Are the Light That Got You Home. Like that had just come out, the
Yeah.
Lighthouse one that everyone went crazy for. And I remember the lights were on and everyone's like doing pylons, and I hope that comes back because I've seen a deficit in pylon participation. I just want to see that come back and people swimming on people. But that was happening. And I remember the homeless people because if you haven't been to the Muse, picture a square, and if you got the square, the stage is at the front. Pick any side; it's at the front. The sound booth is in the back. You're gonna exit back there, but the stage is up here. Two exit doors. This one's blocked. The one next to the stage is kind of always open, especially if it was hot as fuck. And everyone's jumping, diving for the mic, and these homeless people are standing there looking in. And I remember their jaws on the floor, just being like, I think verbatim, someone was like, "These white boys are crazy," because it was that show was popping. And
God,
they weren't wrong. It was very tame, but like if you haven't seen that, it does look pretty wild.
have you? Since we're talking about the venues, Rocketown. Do you have fond memories of Rocketown?
Man, I have a.
That pause. That pause says it all.
I'm just refraining from saying what I really want to say. I don't like Rocket Town or support them or have very nice things to say about their
Fair.
venue and stuff.
I will say back in the day, like I remember we were playing a lot of Muse shows, and we were like, we gotta get in Rocketown, and then we got to Rocketown.
Oh, you made it if you played Rocketown.
And like, especially if you could get, because we all started like, sometimes you'd be Coffee Bar or like whatever the whatever stage, like the
level
basic.
One was the shit.
And then you get to level 1, and level 1 started getting a little rowdier. Like there's some good shows happen there. And then if you happen to somehow get lucky and get main stage ever,
Dude.
like you were like, holy shit, this is awesome because the stage is massive. My biggest problem with Rocketown, I always loved the like not birthday bash, what they call it, maybe it was their birthday bash, but like the end of summer, school's out, like the huge fest. I hated getting there at like so early, and then I didn't play until like 8 hours from then. But at the same time, I liked it because then I would just go hang out with everybody. Like we would all just like screw off the whole day.
100%.
But the sound always pissed me off there. Because you could be like, every time we get up there, it'd be like, hey, we need more guitar stage left, or hey, we need this. And they'd be like, okay. And then we wouldn't get shit, and I'm like, come on. Like, hey, a little later, can we get more? Yeah, thumbs up. And then they would just go back to text. And I'm like, bro, come on. Like, help me out here.
Dude, I don't know any of that stuff. Like, I didn't know what stage right guitar even meant, If I wasn't standing on that side and I had a guitar, I was still like, okay, cool, hit me up, I've never played main stage. I learned how to mosh at the Muse and at Rocketown. Level 1 was like my favorite place to be.
Level 1 was fun. Do you remember old Rocketown level 1, which was like the basement?
6th Avenue.
Yes.
Yeah, 6th Avenue.
And then you had White Building, which was White Building still called level 1?
Is the one I'm referring to.
Okay, yeah. That place was sick.
That's where I was growing up at. It was there, and then when they demolished that one and then built the White Building, like that was really cool. Saw early Gideon shows before Milestone came out there.
Yes.
Remember seeing For Today and seeing like a lot of really cool stuff there, and then seeing what would be considered like Super Scene AP magazine in like the main building. And for people watching, I didn't understand when to turn mosh off. I just heard a breakdown and I would mosh the same to Recon as I was to August Burns Red or Bring Me the Horizon or Amur. It didn't matter. And I think every mosher does that. They aren't going to turn it off. You're getting spin kicked, whether it's attack or like this other thing. I just didn't understand there was a difference.
Yeah.
And man, just I won't go on a rant, but when they fired Wes, for the
we had stopped playing. We had like Sirens had broke up before that, so Like, I just remember, like, after we stopped, like, I saw a few more Rocketown shows, and then it's like all shows stopped. And that's when, like, all the shit hit the fan with, like, everything. And I was just like, what happened? Like, what's going on?
Dude, to be honest, I'll put it super short. And this should
Shout out to
align
Wes,
with
by the way. Wes always
dude, shout out
always
to
took
Wes.
care of everybody.
All the people that, like, I don't even know this person, but like RC,
Yep,
he was
I remember
always
RC.
looking out for us in security.
Sasha.
Wes was the fucking man. Sasha, Reagan,
Yep.
Melanie put us on some shit. And then
I think
some of
Melanie
these
was
people
the
would yell.
main booker for a while, right? Isn't that who Melanie used to, like, send the emails back about everything?
She was the one that you wanted her to like your band.
Yeah. I remember
Or that's what I
emailing
thought.
Melanie, and she would, like, get us on shows, and I'm like, okay, Melanie, you're
She
awesome.
could pull those strings. That's what I thought. I could be completely wrong, but I was like 16 and was like, I hope you like my band, so you'll put us on cool shit. But they would also like yell at people like me because I would maybe be angry and mosh it out or something, get in trouble.
Yeah.
I'd get put in timeout. They'd yell at you.
Rocketown timeout.
This will align with the hardcore punk ethic is Rocketown became corporate, and then I just got these for them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they ruined. They don't do shows at all, I believe. I think they don't do anything now. I don't know. I haven't kept up with them since we stopped.
I probably wouldn't go if they did.
I think actually after we stopped, I might have went to 2 shows. But I don't think that's after everything happened because they were still doing heavy shows. One of them was Ghost Inside. And you were talking about being a mosh band. Dude, I'll never forget. I can't remember the touring package they were on. They opened to come out house lights, like nothing fancy. Everybody else had like the light show, and everything else going on main stage. They come out, just threw down, crowd going nuts. And they ended with "What do you stand for?" I'm trying to think of that. But Vigil stopped everything,
between the lines.
and he was just like, Nashville. And he stood out on like the rail in front of it and like balanced on security guard and was like, what do you stand for? And that place just went crazy. And I was just like, yes. And then I saw maybe it was Parkway or somebody, and that was the last I'd been to Rocketown. So that'd been, dude, that's probably 10 years ago, easy.
To be honest, my last memories of Rocketown was Travis Fest when
God, dude, that used to be legendary. Travis Fest.
When Alert and Plea played their last shows. The last Plea show was in the main building. And then that's about it.
Yeah.
Because like I moved away a little bit after that. I wasn't there when Under Oath said storm the stage and like got in trouble or whatever.
I didn't even know about all that.
Oh, okay. So Wes got fired for the same-sex marriage shirt.
Yeah, I heard about that part.
They were like, we don't approve of that. And then, dude, I honestly think, I don't know if there was a case before that, but that was viral before viral became a thing on the internet, I do believe. And I don't want to say that started the Me Too movement, but it definitely started that's not okay to do. You can't fire him because he believes something different than you. And that was insane. But I was living in Texas at the time, and I heard Under Oath played, and like kids were getting thrown out for, and here's the reason why I don't like Rocketown. Kids were getting thrown out because they would crowd surf over the barricade. And security guards would catch them, and they'd say, cool, you're out.
That's dumb.
It's like, do you know who you're booking? Like, This is what happens at these shows. I've heard bands say that. Like, do you know the band that you book here? And the crowd what they're going to do? Like, just be aware, right? And then, so Under Oath was like, cool, free merch if you get on the stage, or like something of that nature. And everyone just stormed the stage, and they shut the show down. And I don't know what happened much after that, but I think shows kind of halted.
Oh, yeah, man. I see. I completely like when we stopped. I like disconnected from the scene for a while, hardcore. Just like needed that break.
I know a lot of people that do that. I never did that.
I used to keep my finger on the pulse of like everything. Like, I don't know if you remember like the old blog spots, like Total Deathcore and stuff. Like, I was always
I wasn't on that either.
Checking out like
I wish I did.
all the bands. Like, I would find out about so many bands like all over the world through that. And like I was
Dude.
always like, who's going on tour when? Like what's happening? Like what's going on? Who's releasing this record? And
I didn't know anything about like blogs. I was really new to AIM, if anybody remembers AIM, but I knew what MySpace was. Um, and like I was from Cookville, and the internet wasn't what it was. So if man, I didn't even find out about hardcore until like the internet got big enough to where like I found it. Because anywho, I won't trail off topic. Blog spots I wish I had found out about. Like you're saying, I would have found out about much more. Today it's so easy to get on your phone and just,
yeah,
oh, I found out about this stuff in Japan. But
yeah,
like for me, if I didn't find it on MySpace or something, I wasn't finding it, So like, I really wish I had found hardcore sooner. I knew the people that were wearing terror merch were scary, and don't go near them because they'll beat my ass. And 9 times out of 10, it was for real. And the little golfer cap that like goes
yeah,
straight down, you know what I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah,
Um, like those dudes in windbreakers, it was like they know something I don't. I'm gonna stay away from them.
yeah,
But I realized that what I was doing was welcomed and embraced in hardcore, and that's why I was getting in so many like altercations and stuff, was because I was acting this way in an environment that didn't know about it or didn't support it. So I was like, why is this happening? And then when I found hardcore and kids moshed harder than me and nobody got butthurt about it, and if kids fought, they fought, and then that was it. I was like, this is where I need to be,
oh yeah.
So
I always loved when you would watch, like the moshers and stuff. Like you would see people like throwing down hard, like couple dudes throwing down hard, and then they like kind of pass each other like a little fist bump. Like yeah, like you get hit, but they are throwing down. Like hey, we're cool, we're doing our thing. Keep
Man,
going.
I think it's a big heat of the moment thing too. Like, hey, people used to target people. I used to do it. A lot of people used to do it. There's that. There's people that didn't mean to hit you, and then there's people that are giving you a receipt. Shout out Brett. He told me that term. They're just tagging you back. And I think when people are seeing red and they're moshing, and then they get hit out of nowhere and then turn, that anger is kind of directed at that person. I don't think it's very like personal,
Yeah,
as much as like somebody might think fighting's personal. It's kind of like you or I said, it's in the heat of the moment. Somebody gets upset, they hit each other, but then maybe they're friends afterwards.
yeah.
Or maybe they fight more.
It could go either way.
Who knows? I've made a lot of friends that way. I've seen it happen so much, and dude, yeah, just it happened the most when when somebody didn't know what was going on and antagonizes the kid that knows what's happening and is acting appropriately at the venue and at the genre. And somebody might say crowd killing isn't appropriate, but it's like, if you're fucking listening to Laid to Rest or A Mirror or like Bury Your Dead, that's what's gonna happen. They're requesting it of the fans,
Yeah.
And then it's somebody that doesn't know what's going on that's gonna hit that kid, and then they're gonna get beat, and then they're like, why does this happen?
Oh yeah. I can't tell you how many times like
on the scene.
we would go to a show or we would play a show and be like, tonight's a rough night. Like we know tonight's about to be brutal. Like the lineup, it's gonna be wild. Like we're prepped. We know.
That dude, I think that's such a good thing. Like, and at least I think it's scarier when you get there and you didn't know, and then you have that experience like I did, where it's like, I'm gonna die here.
I learned. I would always do my research. I'd be like, all right, who we playing with tonight, and check them out. Like, okay, so it's gonna be one of these nights. Like, okay, cool, sweet. You kind of know like what I can do too. Like as a vocalist, I'd be like, I kind of know what the crowd was, so you can kind of know how to like rile them a little bit and get them going. And like,
I haven't done that yet.
Oh, dude, it's
like that side of that. You know, like I can just tell if like, okay, it's at this venue, it's these 4 bands, this is gonna be nuts from front to back, or okay, it's these 4 bands at this venue, I know I'll chill during band 2, because they're pop punk, and then the band after them is fucking hardcore.
Yeah.
You know, you got your sing along bands, you got your mosh bands, you've got your a lot of traditional hardcore is kind of more like two step and
Yep.
stomping, you know, and then you've got your beat down lane, which is just moshing and crowd killing, which I think is awesome. And then you've got, and yo, respect to metalcore too, because like that's where I came from. And I heard somebody say this, that like metalcore kids mosh super fucking hard, and I agree. And I think that comes from the fact that there's always somebody that's gonna mess with you. Where in hardcore, you're gonna go hard, but there's not that like jester that's gonna come out and like shove you, and then you're gonna end up fighting them.
Yeah.
Like that's not really in hardcore because everyone knows the rhythm and stuff. In metalcore, it's almost like survival of the fittest, and who's gonna try to fight me first, you know?
Yeah.
And so respect to metalcore as much as I talk about hardcore.
All right, we have went down memory lane, dude. That was awesome. God, dude, makes me miss the old days.
I love talking about shows and moshing. That's
Dude.
all I care about.
Makes me miss it. But we'll kind of get on topic a little bit. How long you been doing vocals?
Dude, since I was 4, 2 answers.
'Kay.
I started when I was 14, I want to say 14. I don't remember the first time I started going, you know, but
Yeah.
like in the back of my brother's Mitsubishi, like going to like high school or I specifically remember my brother Jared, he was driving. His girlfriend at the time was in the car. Her friend was in the back seat, and I was in the back seat. And we were going to see our friend's band play this place in Cookeville called MySpace, and rip off of MySpace. And I was 14 for sure. This was this was 06, maybe 05. I wasn't in high school yet, or I was freshman, and I remember screaming to the Crimson by Atreyu. And like,
great album, by the way.
To be honest, when I hit 8th grade, and my cousin had moved out to Las Vegas, and he was like, yo, have you heard of, he said 3 bands. He knew Escape the Fate when they were in high school, so he was like, this band's gonna blow up, and they did, and he was right. He was in a parking lot and got invited to be in the Backcountry video for Avenged Sevenfold. So he was like, check that band out. Which, I mean, if you live in Vegas, I guess you have access to like, something crazy could happen if you just show up. And then he told me about Killswitch Engage when End of Heartache was coming out.
Yep.
So I heard those three and was like, oh, fuck, this is different. You know, started learning how to scream. Atreyu was really big. Creature hadn't come out yet, him burning on the cover and stuff, but Bleeding Mascara and the Crimson were the first ones that I like tried to learn how. And I want to say I do Fry. I believe I don't do false chord. I could be completely wrong there, but I do Fry vocals. And I was gonna say Fry chord. That's not a thing, but maybe it blurs. Maybe I blur.
You could be a hybrid. There are hybrids that will do both. Like you kind
I
of
really
mixes
think the lows that I do, and a lot of the way down stuff is false, and I'm trying not to lose my Fry.
Yeah.
You know, because that's where I get a lot of the distortion and can do more like deathcore stuff and metalcore stuff. You know, but hardcore is like yelling, so I think that's where false leans in a lot, but. I was a fan of Bury Your Dead, so Matt Brusso, he's just yelling. I'm a product of him. And the moment I wanted to be a vocalist and take vocals seriously was in 2019, so 6 years ago. Nice. So I've been doing vocals. I'm 34, so I've been doing vocals for 20 years.
Hell yeah.
And not trained at all, just DIY. And, yeah, started taking it seriously 5 years ago. Nice. 6 years ago now.
I love how you gave kind of like your gateway bands, because I was really similar. I listened to like 80s metal and like, grew up like Metallica, all that stuff. I was exposed to that at a young age,
Oh,
like
dude.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah,
but like
that
I
was
listened to like Linkin Park and Limp Bizkit and like the new metal
Same.
stuff. Like as like I was getting older, and then I can't remember who showed it to me, but somebody showed me Lamb of God, and I was just like, okay, yeah, that's cool. And then I got showed Atreyu and Killswitch, and there was one more band, and I was just Haste Today was early too. I got showed Haste Today, and I was just like, yo, this is really cool. And like the more heavier with like the screaming and stuff more, I was like, I fuck with this. I like this. Like what, and that was like my gateway to get me into heavier things. Like they bridged the gap for me. So I'm forever in debt to like checking those bands out to even know the bands I know today or even being into them.
All those bands were the starting point for me.
Oh,
like
for sure.
Everyone you named, and in that order, almost like Lamb of God for sure. I should have, but I didn't understand they were screaming.
Yeah,
because they weren't doing it in that way,
Yeah, Randy has like a unique style. It's like a pitched yell kind of thing.
And with Chester, I was like, oh, he's just being loud.
Yeah,
I didn't really take it as he was screaming until I until I heard things like some Cannibal Corpse or like it was those three I mentioned that actually screamed and sang that I was like, oh, I want to do that. That sounds really cool. And couldn't. And so you sound like shit going blah for a while.
I just remember being naive the first time I heard it, and I was just like, so he's just yelling a lot. Like all he's doing is just yelling a lot. I'm like, that can't be hard, right? And then I would try to yell, and I'm like, holy shit, how's he yelling for like this whole length of a song and not understanding technique or anything like that?
Yeah. And like you said, how long? I think Fry is why I can do longer stuff. I could be wrong, and I'm willing to be wrong here, or there's no right or wrong. I don't know a lot of false chord people that can go a long time.
Yeah.
So maybe Fry helps with like that 17-second give in scream from Chester Linkin Park, where he's like, dan 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 dan. I forget the fucking lyric right now. But you know the part.
Oh, yeah. The legendary scream. Phil, I would say Phil's got some, Bozeman from Whitechapel. He can hold out some long false chord stuff.
You think he's false?
Yeah, oh, yeah. For sure. Those gutturals, I think the gutturals are for sure.
That's crazy, because I always did his stuff as Fry.
Really?
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
I could be wrong. Hell, I don't know. I'm no expert on it. Like, I love deep diving into it. I think all of it, because when I started, kind of like you, was like DIY, like there wasn't anything on the internet. There was like, I couldn't YouTube anything.
Dude, there was nothing.
So it was all sitting here, me and TJ, like I remember having his little crappy setup to record guitar. Like we rigged it where I could do vocals, and I was just like figuring it out on the fly. I'm like, okay, that sounds awful. That hurts. I'm not going to do that. That sounds terrible. Okay, that was kind of cool. Let's keep trying that. And then
the only time I've heard my voice was like maybe a year ago. So like I had a really good stint of like just not hurting my voice,
Oh yeah.
Until now when I took it seriously.
It's easy to do, and we'll talk about early mistakes, but like pushing too much is one.
Yeah.
Especially back, back then there was not a lot of bands wore in-ears unless they were like a bigger band that had in-ears. So most time you were relying on house PAs, and if it was a shitty PA, you couldn't hear anything. You were just, screaming your lungs out. But Zena screaming helped me a ton. That's what helped me like be able to keep my voice. Like it didn't make sense at first until I tried it, and then I was like, oh, this is what she means.
Yeah. Yo, and like there was no MySpace ad that came up every 10 posts that said, oh, I taught Tina how to scream in 4 weeks. Now check her shit out. Yeah. There was none of that. It was all like, you went to a show, you screamed, and somebody was probably like, dude, you sounded like shit.
Yeah.
And back then it was raw. Now it's like, oh, I respect him. Good job. It's like so different than it was.
I mean, I remember going like, just talking to touring bands and be like, yeah, I blew my voice out. Or someone would be like, I coughed up blood last week. And it's like, it was the Wild West. Like no one knew anything. It was like, oh, dude, that's rough. Like what happens? Like, I don't know. Just after the show, like,
I don't know.
It was jacked up. And like, it's fun to
I did
talk
the
to a
blood
lot of these
thing for
musicians
sure.
now, and they're just like, yeah, it's trial and error. Like we just figured it out.
Yeah. I haven't toured yet and done that, and yet keyword,
It's
but
coming.
oh, dude, I can't wait. But like that's a whole nother beast than like doing a show, and I haven't even gotten to do a show yet. I've just gotten to do guest vocals, and like you said, like
Can't wait
there's
to talk about that,
no
by the way.
hell
Because who you
yeah,
did guest
same.
vocals for, I just chatted with. I don't know how many episodes ago, but yeah, I
Dude, I
chat.
love that episode. It was dope.
He's
And
he is
shout out John. That's who we're talking about. John from Crystal Lake. That's a buddy of mine.
that man.
And
He is hilarious.
bro,
That
have
was
you heard him?
great.
Have you met John
No,
in person?
I'm supposed to hopefully meet him next year whenever tour
When they come
stuff.
back,
Yeah, whenever they come through
dude,
Nashville, I'm supposed to hopefully.
bro. Like, I mean, maybe not for you, but and I have a crazy story about him being in Crystal Lake, but I heard him do vocals. John helped me with a lot of my vocals. That's my boy. I love you, dog. If you're watching, um, he pushed me, and here, what I wanted to say is, hearing him do vocals in person is insane. Like, you're a vocalist, so maybe you won't think it's as crazy as I did, but like, bro, when I heard him do it just raw, just oh, he's just in the room I'm in and we're talking about vocals, and then he said do it like, and then did like a or
Yeah,
something like that. It was like, oh my god. And which of course, like, I guess years of touring and him doing it, I just thought it was the most insane
his
fucking
regiment.
thing.
He's got a really good regiment to like take care of himself. Like the stories he was telling about how like he tones back things or how he has to do this so his voice is ready for the show and like
He's a pro,
dude,
dude.
yeah, he knows what he's
uh
doing.
Yo, for anybody watching, if you look far enough, I hope the post is still on there. On Will Ramos on his Instagram, Will Ramos from Lorna Shore, he has a photo with John way deep in the cut, way deep, that says best vocalist in deathcore, and he's talking about John. And
That's
that was
sick.
before Will was in Lorna and stuff. I'm like, facts. Well,
John,
like,
I
hey,
think
I
John
don't want
brought
to
up
say the best.
Will on the podcast. I feel like he said something about Will's a sweetheart, homie, like love him to death.
I don't know how well they know each other, but like that photo was on his Instagram. John is it like I'm trying to say, no mic, raw, in person, just in a fucking room. Whoa, I hadn't heard shit like that. So maybe
John's
it's
awesome.
very common. I haven't heard a lot of vocalists just do vocals.
Yeah, just
Just
yelling.
raw, just chuck it out there. And when he did that, I was like, God.
Dude, that's sick though. We got to derail. We're talking about John. We got to know how'd the guest vocal spot? Because I saw the video and I was like, yo, no way. I was like, that's so sick. Throwing down. You went
Dude.
to Birmingham, right?
Yeah, that was in Alabama. I think I was telling the guys that was my fourth time doing a guest vocal for them, and John is just he's like dad when it comes to vocals for me. He every time I've gone to a show, he goes, "Are you doing a guest vocal tonight? What part are you doing?" And him and a couple of my other friends in bands, they've brought me back into it because like when we were playing, like I was at Loden and I was doing all that stuff, but like I was the show goer for a long time. So wanting to do Way Down and stuff, I've wanted to get back into not just the show, but like let me come to sound check, let me be around, let me see the boring shit, let me like suffer through a lot of this shit with you, let me go to merch and stand there with you for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'll help with loadout. Like the real
Hey, vocalists that do load in and load out. Let's go.
Yo, for real, I'm not lazy.
Now, I always would help too. I would run merch, so they would have to deal with that part because somebody had to do the merch. But loading and stuff, like, I mean, I didn't have shit to do. I had a box that I would stand on, so like I would carry one thing in. The drummer, meanwhile, was bringing like all this shit, and there's cabs.
Yo,
So I'd be
if
like, here, I'm
anybody's
at least help
noticed
you.
it, if anybody's noticed it, and I'm not talking shit here, it's just the vocalist has to go sell merch after your set because you're gonna sell a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, we're the quote unquote face of the band, right? Like you're the person people are relating. It's your voice they're hearing. You're the one talking to them. So a lot of times And any of the other band members, it's awesome when you're there because people will want to come talk. Like guitar players will be like, "Hey, I want to chat with a guitar player." That's awesome, But a lot of times you're loading out. There's different things going on. I would always go just be there just to chat up whoever, even if they didn't buy a shirt and they're just like, "Yo, sick set." Like, yeah, talk to people.
Well, I mean, even think about it. Like, you might see the bass player like having a drink. I'll go talk to him by the soundboard. But if Vincent from the Acacia Strain is at the booth, at the merch booth, I'm going to buy that shit. If Scott Vogel from Terror is standing at the merch booth, I want to talk to him. Matt from Kublai, he's at the merch booth. Dan goes out there. Like, it's just anybody in a band, go sell your merch. It's going to help you sell. The merch guy's cool and a sweetheart and everybody loves him, but go sell your shit. It will help. But the guest vocal is awesome. I wish I could, like, there's things about guest vocals I wish I had more of a hand in, because like when you do your vocal part, you have no idea what level the mic's going to be at. I have no in-ears, so I can't hear if they can even hear me. I'm on the drummer. Like Jared's a drummer. I'm with the drummer. I'm listening to them. Like, I can hear the music, but I'm listening for the I'm listening for that snare and to make sure I'm on time. And I get off time, and I've done guest vocals where like the mic wasn't even on the first half of the verse, but it's fucking awesome, especially like when they played Basement East here in Nashville, and they were playing with Sim and Within Destruction.
Yeah, sounds right.
Is that a band?
Yes.
There are three of them. They're from like Slovakia or something. They're international. They're not. Yeah,
they're it's not Australia, but they're somewhere over there. They're a foreign band.
They were playing, and John was like, "Cool, come to sound check." Okay, sound check your guest vocal, and I was like, in front of all of these people, because it was just bands. It wasn't an audience. It was bands, and I had walked in, and they were kind of like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And then John's like, "Come do your vocal," and they all look up, kind of sizing me up, and I'm like, "Oh God, okay." And he was like, "All right, give it to him." And that was a crazy learning experience, And a big thing for me is like, don't mess up their set.
Yeah.
Like, add to it, don't take away from it. Know the part. Do not mess up the part. Don't mess up their set. It's not about you. It's about the band. And where's the mic at? Do you know the words? And like just all of that stuff. And whether you're coming out of the PA or not, just full send, And dude, it's kind of like he's given me ground to train on.
That's so sick.
I'm so grateful for it, honestly.
He's been pushing the band too. I've been seeing him post a lot about you guys.
Dude, yeah, I DM him every time. I'm like, thank you so much, bro.
He's great dude. I have nothing but good things. And shout out to Tim, formerly of Within the Ruins. That's who actually got me in touch with John.
Oh, that's sick.
Well, actually, I think John had booked it before, and then Tim messaged me and was like, "Yo, you should hit up John." I was like, "Oh, he's actually booked a couple weeks out from now." He was like, "Oh, that's the homie." Yeah. And then like that whole circle up there, like around New York, like they all know each other, and it's sick.
Yep. Just like we, we were talking about Orthodox, and like I remember watching Adam learn how to mosh, and like just little things like that. Like the scene knows each other, or you've heard of them, whether somebody was a hater or somebody loved them. You've heard of them if you're in the region, and dude, just guest vocal. I got to do a guest vocal the other night too for my friend's band. Shout out Rules of Engagement. I shot a video for them, and I was like, let me hit a guest vocal tonight. So while Wade Down hasn't been playing, I've been trying as much as possible to touch stage, and like get those reps in, because I think that's super important to like not just practice to your wall, but to practice.
Yeah.
Hey, wouldn't you say a guest vocal is different than doing your set?
Oh, for sure.
Because you're in someone else's kind of shoes.
Yeah. And you're like, I've done a few, and you're like essentially a hype man for them
Yeah.
for like a small period
Yeah,
where you're not like, your job is to come up to do the part, like you said, to know the words, know the part, do it correctly, but like hype up that section and then let them do their thing.
Get off stage.
Yeah. You're not there to like steal the shot, like the limelight or anything. You just come up, you amp the crowd up a little bit more, just give that little extra juice, and then let them keep crushing.
Yeah, and you hope, right? You hope that you get a big pop when you do it, and you hope that like you help it go up. I mean, I view like my guest vocals with Crystal Lake as thank you guys for letting me in. I don't think I'm doing them a big favor. John would be like, no, 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 no. He would be my friend here and tell me otherwise, but they're fucking helping me a ton by letting me. Because, dude, I could ruin their set. I'm never going to do that, but like, you don't know if that dude knows the shit or like if they're going to ruin it, you know?
Yeah.
And, I'm just so grateful that he has. And like a big thing for me, and I don't want to trail off here, so I'll keep it on topic. A big thing for me was I was doing guest vocals for like Counterparts and Crystal Lake and stuff like that. And I didn't have a band. So I felt really weird, to be honest, for a while. I felt like, should I be doing this? You know, because like I want to do a guest vocal. They're cool with it. No one cares, but why am I doing that? I don't have a band.
Yeah, almost like an imposter syndrome kind of thing. It's like
maybe, but I felt like just and hey, hell yeah, thank you if that is what that is. But like, I was just like in the crowd, like, why is he up there? So like, once you have I basically stopped doing guest vocals till Weighed Down came out. And then once Weighed Down came out, it was like, cool, this is Evan from Weighed Down. He has a band. He's the vocalist. This makes sense. Versus he's their friend.
Yeah.
Or who the fuck is this guy? Which I've gotten a ton. I've had people just stare at me and say, who is that guy? And almost like kill the vibe.
So, John, does this mean when they come back through, whenever that is, I don't know. Like, I don't have any insight, but I think it's supposed to hopefully be in 2026, I think, because I know they're pretty booked. Does that mean when they come back through Nashville, we're going to see another guest spot? Are you going to be back up there?
100%. If he'll let me, I will definitely do it for sure.
Well, I hopefully will be there. I want to see John and them throw down, and I can't wait.
It's awesome.
I'll be your hype man. I'll be right there in the front row.
Please. Hell yeah.
We're gonna be promoting. I've already been the hype man for your band. We've been sharing and trying to like promote you guys. It's like a constant back and forth here, just constant like.
I want to gig together,
dude. If we could do one, I don't know, like how are you guys? You guys are recruiting, right? Like, aren't you like currently trying to
find our members? Yeah.
Yeah, we have we're a 3-piece right now.
The same boat.
TJ and Eric do all the everything music wise. Like they handle the drum, like they program, do everything. So it is what it is. Like it's easier right now. Who knows what the future holds?
Our aspirations weren't to be like a respect to this band. Our aspirations weren't to be a Darko.
Yeah, gotcha.
You know, Darko with Tom and Baby J and their thing. Not comparing us to them, but they do the 2-person thing and they play multiple roles and they put it out themselves. I think they'd be sick live. I don't know if that's their aspiration, but there's so much to Weighed Down. And if you want to talk about it, we can. But we wanted to play and we wanted to be like, hey, here's our first song. We play Friday, pull up.
Yeah.
It's just not really how it went. And Jared pushed to be like, hey, let's put this out, because I was trying to find people and he was like, let's put this out. So we put it out. And like you mentioned for your stuff, I filmed the video and we dropped it and put it out. And so that's where we're at now. We're recruiting and stuff.
It's hard to find like-minded people in bands sometimes, like to find that right synergy, if you will, like people that are going to like one common goal, you know, like we all are in it together. We have the same aspirations and feel the same about the music. Like it's tricky. Sometimes it lines 100%. Up perfect. And then other times, you know, it's like a lot of weeding through the stuff that won't work, I guess, if you will.
There's a big thing in Nashville, and I won't go into it too much, but I think a lot of people, or maybe it's just our age range. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm 34, so like when you get older, I think a lot of people either fall out of it or don't want to commit to something because they have so much going on.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just gonna be really raw here. I think that shit is fucking whack. And if you want to play music, shut the fuck up and play music. Don't talk about it like you're doing for your band. I'm sure you would want to like kick back and watch Netflix, but like that's not going to get half this shit done.
No.
And a lot of people talk about wanting to play music, but they don't want to do it. And I'm just not on that level of things. Like I moved to do this. I invested everything I have into what Way Down is, literally financially and everything. And so like when people just kind of want to play, get out of my fucking face.
It's
Just gonna be honest.
I'm lucky my wife is super supportive of it, and like even when we were
Sacrifice
talking
right there.
do what?
Sacrifice. You were talking about your wife. I already know where you're going with it.
Yeah, it's she whenever we was talking about it, she was like, if that's something you want to do it. Like if you want to play, you want to do, go for it. You know, my son, everything, like I lose time with him, but at the same time, like he'll come in here if I'm working on something and I'm just like, what's up, dude? Here's Uncle TJ, or like, hey, he's on the screen, I'm working on this, and they're like, oh, or they get excited. So it is what it is, but at the end of the day, like I'm doing, not to be cliche, but we're doing our art, we're doing something we're passionate about, something that all of us really care about, and we're leaving a legacy. This is stuff that 10 years down the road we can look back and be like, we released that, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I expressed myself, and we had that, and we did this for it, and had this project in this band. And
dude, 100%.
And even just like hearing people, I love hearing people, and I can't wait to talk to you about lyrics, but I love hearing how people respond and interpret the lyrics. Like knowing what I wrote and like what the subject I'm talking about, but how they translate to their life. I love that. And that's one of the things I've always loved about music, and especially metal music and hardcore and metalcore, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's so open to translation, and it means what one song may mean to me, and like how I attach it to my life and my meaning may mean different for you, may mean different for your brother, or TJ, or and it's amazing, and I truly do love that, and I love hearing people's like interpretation of things. It's so cool,
dude. Well, you love I was gonna say the game, but you're just a fan of the culture. You love the game, and I think, and I do too. So that's why I geek out on like, oh, that melody was really cool, or oh, that line was really cool, or wow, this package they put together for us, whoa. And like I've noticed a lot of people feel that way toward movies, or like people are into sports like that, or maybe shoes and fashion. And like this is just my that.
Yeah. I think that's always been my personality. Like ever since I got into this, is I would deep dive. I was always the guy that like I said, I wanted to know what this band's doing. Like, are they in the studio? Do they have studio videos? Like, how's that process going? Like, what are they doing? Like, I always wanted the behind the scenes. I wanted to know what's going on, and I would just nerd out on that. Like, I would just band DVDs, documentaries, anything like that was always my, if you ever come around, especially during like the heavy band days, that's pretty much all that was on my TV. Like, I was some sort of any band media I could get, I was just taking in.
Bro, we were watching, is it Philadelphia? Where not the live, but they show all the studio stuff in that machine. And
it's Philadelphia is the one where studio. Mark and Randy get in the fight, right?
But like it shows them recording, right?
I think
like,
so. Yeah.
He like runs around the block.
Oh
and
yeah.
Runs into the studio and he's out of breath and he does the fucking part.
Yeah.
And, we watched that in the studio, and shout out to my brother Randy. I love you, dog. Randy was like, I don't know if he's under Machine, but Machine started like Will Putney apprenticed. Will's attached to Machine somehow, and so Randy is through Will. So like they're in the same like lineage, so to speak. Like I have a tattoo family, that's their like recording family.
Oh, sick.
And Machine recorded Lamb of God. So when we watched that, immediately the next day, Randy was applying to us what Machine was doing to them. How like, and I'll put it an example. Machine was like, he was kind of telling Randy how to like deliver it. And right after we watched that, Randy did that. And dude, it made the recording process so much more fun than like, oh, dude, just do a high there, whatever.
Yeah.
It seemed much more involved. So like band DVDs fucking rule.
Oh,
Behind
dude,
the scenes, all that stuff.
I still, that's why I did this podcast, because I know for me, like, if there was a podcast back in the day, it's like, oh, these are vocalists talking about like insights of things they do. I would have been all into that. Like, I would have been engrossed and knowing and been like telling my band, because half of them didn't care. Like vocal technique stuff, like, did you know such and such does this routine or this, and this is how he helps get this performance. And they've been like, okay, cool, whatever. Are you good to scream tonight? Like, kind of thing.
Dude,
but
we're very much the same. That's all I watch.
yeah, it's
all I watch is YouTube.
Like you said, I guess student of the game. I just the industry and all the stuff behind the scenes. It's always fascinated me, and so I love hearing the stories. But back to vocals. What are some early mistakes you made when you were learning, and was there an aha moment where everything kind of like clicked and you're like, okay?
Yeah. Basically not knowing I was doing everything wrong, in the sense of like I would try to do something but it's not there, or like I thought I was like doing a low and it wasn't a low, or I remember so two things, I guess, short answers. I did a guest vocal, and my buddy Brett Eisen, my boy, shout out Brett, he was like, he just was like, oh, your low was like, and he was giving me critique before I knew what critique was or understood that stuff. And so like I was making a lot of mistakes because I wanted to like move around. I still do that. I would rather move around than just stand there. And I'm learning how to do that, because breathing is crazy, and like running back and forth makes it harder, right? And if you look at vocalists, you can understand why they're just walking around or like standing in one place, and we can talk about that another time. But an aha moment came for me when I drove back from Chattanooga or Florida. I was going to Cookeville, and I was sitting in the Cookeville Cookout drive-through listening to I Am. If you've heard of them, they're Texas Death. And I don't know what song I was listening to, but I learned how to do the low kind of yell that I do from him. Just screaming along with their vocals and kind of doing more of it felt more of like a horn. Like if you held like a bullhorn or like a Viking horn, and how, and just,
yeah.
And like that's very soft and low and quiet. But whenever I found out how to just exhale and do that, dude, it went off. And I like paused it and was like, can I do that again? Can I do it again? And then kept that. Another thing I've tried to learn but haven't gotten a hold on is how Alex Terrible does this like bare vocal, but it takes me a while to get it, and I can find it, but I can't just access it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that I Am thing was just a big aha moment. It's in the chamber. I kept that. And I want to say that changed my voice big time when I started screaming like that. That's when I went into probably more of a false, I think.
Those moments are the best, when it clicks and you're just like, oh yeah, okay, I got this now. Like I understand what I'm doing. Like I see how this feels, how it should feel. Like this makes sense.
Yeah, for real.
Okay, so you were talking about running around. Fun story. I think it was the first time Resurrect the Morning played Rocketown Main Stage. I was just learning to do vocals, so I was just like, I bridged over for like a few shows to be their vocalist before I left. And I remember being on main stage, and it was level 1. So it was the old main stage. And I, like you said, did not know how to like the breath support, like still learning, still green. But I was like, all right, we're on main stage. I'm about to go so hard. Like I'm full sending. I sprinted that stage for the entire, like, it was only probably like a 20, 25-minute set. Because you know how the sets were at Rocketown back then. For
That
like
stage was huge too.
But I'll never forget, like, when our set ended, everybody was, like, unloading. And I was like, dude, I'm legit about to pass out. Like, I had to lay down on the floor for a bit, just soaking wet. And I was like, I can't breathe. Like, I'm so dead right now. Because I would run around and be like, and then I'd run to the next part and do it. I'm like, dude, what am I doing with my life? Like, I've got to reel it back. Because this stage is way too big.
Dude, I mean.
Yeah, it was rough.
I think I had this before what I'm about to say, but, yo, I'm a product of the Chariot. You know, and the Chariot went, if anybody watching knows who they are, they went crazy. I'm not trying to trash equipment, but, like, they didn't just stand there, you know. And
you're big on stage performance.
It was insane. And Crystal Lake's one of those bands that does the same thing. Like, they're very, like, let's move around. Let's, you know, I like that. And I like vocalists that mosh on stage.
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing to me as a mosher, is if the vocalist knows how to mosh and tells me to mosh, I'm going to mosh.
Yeah.
You know? Versus stands there.
Yeah, I was always big on stage presence. Like, that was one of my things. Like, I wanted to throw down and I wanted to be moving on stage because I wanted that energy to go out there for them to, like, come back. And I wanted to give, like, if it's someone that's seen us several times or somebody the first time, be like, well, that band did throw down. Like, they put on a show. They were into it. They're headbanging. They're moving around. They're jumping. They're, like, feeling the music. Like, so we would actually practice, like, a lot of times it'd be kind of like a warm-up practice where, like, didn't really move much. You're just kind of going through the motions. And then it's like, all right, show practice. Like, throw down. Like, we're throwing down hard for the set. So we would always practice, like, just, I guess, that conditioning, if you will, like, make sure we're ready.
So you do two types of practices? Like,
oh, yeah. It would be the same practice session. It's like, we would run the set multiple times usually. We used to practice, dude, like 3 or 4 times a week. So
and
we were like.
Multiple times that day?
Yeah. We would just, like. We would run the set, and the set was like, what's the average set? Like 25 minutes or something, usually? Yeah. So we would do, like, the set. It was like 5 songs, I think, back then. 5 or 6 songs, whatever. Like 3-minute songs or whatever it was. And we would do those with, like, our intro, outro. And we would kind of go through just so everybody's kind of, like, feeling, you know, whatever. And then it's like, all right, throwdown time. Like, let's do it like we're at the show. And so then everybody's, like, get into it. So, like, I guess you just get that extra, like, stamina, you know, essentially.
Yeah.
And so we'd take, like, a 5-minute break between sets and then throw down.
Dude, we need more songs because I won't say what we have, but we can't fill a 20-minute set yet.
You got this. I believe
we got more songs, but I can't say how many we've got. But it's hardcore, so it's like 2-minute long songs.
Hey, those will be fun, though. Dude, that's also the... I don't know if you kept up with Throne, but that's like, I feel like that's kind of like the sweet spot. We definitely did not feel it the sweet spot. TJ and Eric love to write long songs, but it works. That's their thing. And as long as the song doesn't get boring, I don't care. As long as we're not like dragging out stuff for no reason, sweet. But I feel like especially with like social media and like short form content and all that stuff, like shorter songs, attention spans, you know, like I've even had people say like, oh, that song's too long. Like, they need, like, just, you get a couple minutes, and that's all. Then they're ready to move something else.
Well, I'm not a hater, but do not give me a chorus 4 times. Like, you can play it 4 measures and then do something different with the last 2, or sing the hook over the last 2. But, like, okay, if you're doing verse, chorus, or even this, starting it with the chorus, and then doing a verse, and then like a pre maybe, or a verse, chorus, pre, chorus, bridge, chorus. It's like, don't.
Yeah.
I don't want that by that time, you know? And then just some of the like mainstream music that is just like copy paste.
Yeah.
I got away from that, but I love choruses. I love big choruses. I love Kill Switch Engage and like Avenged Sevenfold and like My Chemical Romance and all these bands that do choruses, you know, not related to those bands, but Terror, Keepers of the Faith, they do that 3 times. I want to say it's 3 times that one, but you know, for me,
Bury Your Dead has one in Collateral when they're newer.
When Mike Terry was with them.
No, No, this was the 20 most recent stuff they released. What was that?
I feel. Oh shit.
What is it?
Well, I feel like.
But it's like a breakdown chorus. It's like heavy,
House
but the
of
chorus
Straw
that keeps
has
coming
one.
back.
House of Straw has the "Hold the hand of a liar," and he does that 2 or 3 times. I want to say. You know. Yeah, you're right. I didn't realize that because I guess I think like. Even okay,
When
Bury Your
was
Dead
that?
definitely has choruses because I feel like Magnolia has one that does it 2 times, but then they do a big breakdown at the end that's not the chorus. You know,
Yeah.
a big fan of that.
I'm trying to now. I have to find that album. That's gonna drive me nuts. I swear it was like 20. When did Matt come back?
um,
Or was it just a single? Collateral,
I'm
I
gonna
think, is
give a
a
really dumb answer
single.
here. After Mike left,
2019 is
yeah.
Collateral, and Matt's on the
Okay,
front.
was that the I take myself to my own funeral tonight. Come on.
Um,
Slaughterhouse 5.
trying to think of the damn. I can't remember the chorus line now. Oh, where's the lyrics?
When they did Slaughterhouse 5, I thought that was dope. They were in the studio when we recorded Way Down, but it was not the same members and stuff. Matt wasn't there. I thought I was going to get to like go on vocalist walks with Matt. That didn't happen. And I remember telling Jared, and hey, I think this is cool. I'm not too cool to say this. I was like, yo, Bury Your Dead's going to be in the studio when we go record. We got to be cool. You know, I was like, we can't freak out on them and be like, holy shit, I love your band. Because I'm such a big fan. I didn't want to be a stan when they were there.
I'll have to send you the song afterwards. But yeah, I didn't even really like listen to it. I was jammed out to it. Then TJ was like, the breakdown is the chorus. And I was like, damn, that's cool. I like that.
Hell yeah.
Was
he stoked on that? Or?
Oh yeah. He was just like, they made the chorus is literally like a breakdown riff. Like it's just like, like over and over again.
That's how you trick us.
Yeah. And I was just like, it's clever. That's clever. Good job,
House
guys.
of Straw is the same way. Hold the hand of a liar. It's just a breakdown, and that's the repeated part. So you would call it the chorus, you know.
But it's catchy stuff that gets stuck in your head. I mean, it's smart.
Yeah.
It's smart writing.
Yeah.
All right. Routine time.
Okay.
Getting back on task. How do you get ready for vocals? Do you have a routine you do? And does it change depending on, like, if you're doing guest vocals, if you're going to the studio, if you're just practicing or getting ready for a show? Like, what's your routine look like?
Dude, all right. I got nothing. I don't do shit.
Okay.
I'm not, like, fully professional yet.
Dude, I love that's almost like the old school, like, punk. That punk hardcore mentality coming out of you, just like, bro, I'm just showing up and I'm yelling.
That's all I got.
I love it, though.
But,
you know, Andy from Plea had the same thing. I asked him, I was like, what's your routine? He's like, brother, I just yell. A lot. I show up and I yell. I'm like, hey, it works.
I don't practice before I practice in my car. You know,
Yeah.
I'm going to give the same energy. I don't do it differently there, you know? So, but there is a routine, and I can't answer the question. Like, when I was smoking, I definitely, like, dried my voice out too much. I probably wouldn't drink this now.
Caffeine
this
drinks.
Ghost, because I've noticed it dried my voice out.
Yep.
Where it kind of Monster gives me some juice, and I agree with what Phil said on his YouTube channel. Phil did a vocal thing, and Coca-Cola, like, lubed him up. I've gone and, dude, if I'm really getting it, I've got that honey next to me, and I'm doing a spoonful of honey before I hit this vocal. Dude, I'm drinking Mad Waters. And John was the first person that introduced me to vocal warm-ups, to Melissa Cross, like, zzz and E, and just doing all of that. I'm a firm believer in that. When I'm in the sauna, do scales in the sauna. Like,
so since you do sauna, it's similar. Some people have said like hot shower before vocals, and it's similar effect. It's the mist. Use like the I got put onto this through this podcast, and I was just like, I wonder if that works. So I bought like a little one or whatever.
Vocal mist
Yeah,
stuff?
just like almost like for sinus kind of thing. Just like the little mask.
Yeah.
Like you can get like the Vicks, or there's the vocal mist. There's
Dude,
all
I
kinds
want
of.
it so bad,
Just
bro.
just get one of those, like the whatever ones, and I literally just little water in it, let it steam up, and do that for a few minutes, and I can feel like you can feel like the moisture, like your voice is ready. I do it before and after. It helps.
Yo, for real. And like in the studio, that's the only time I was like, okay, I need to maybe. I guess I was panicking, and was like, I need to do something, which was so not what I do. Like, but it was like, yo, you're recording the record. So I was like, okay, I should warm up, I guess, whatever that means. And like pretend I'm warming up, which I have no structure outside of what John has showed me. If I do a guest vocal, I've warmed up with John, and I watch him do it, and I take it seriously when he does it. Cause like, if you've worked out, I apply it to that. Like, this must not be nonsense. There must be a rhyme or reason. I don't need to be a dummy. I need to do this. And it reminds me, I've had breathing issues for 6 years, and I want to say it's because of doing vocals and pushing too hard and blowing like. Will Ramos has this video where he goes to an ENT. They shove a camera up his nose and they look down into his throat. I tried to go to an ENT in 2020 when COVID happened, and they wouldn't look at it because of COVID and all that stuff. But my breathing was off. I was pushing too hard. I was doing vocals way too much and not getting rest. And I want to say I fucked up one of my, I don't know what you call it, but I don't want to say vocal cords, but I damaged something.
Yeah.
I've had breathing issues ever since. But hey, I'm still out here. I'm doing my best.
There you go.
But that's about as far as I take it. I've noticed doing scales in the sauna has 100% helped my singing voice. Maybe that's just scales in general.
Yeah.
But it's also cool to do that and watch people in the sauna get annoyed, and not to annoy them, but to get comfortable with someone's not gonna like this.
Yeah.
Someone may say, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
And you have to deal with that as like, shut up, play another song. You know that's going to happen. So like the exposure training, I guess.
The sauna thing, like the scales, like I know a lot of people, they may be like, oh, well, that's only if you're doing clean singing, but it's not. I mean, essentially, if you think about it, like your voice, when you first wake up, you know how your voice is kind of like that little, whatever, groggy. It's essentially waking up. And so when you do the scales, you're essentially doing like a day of like talking at all levels, and it's just warming your throat up, getting it ready to go for anything and everything. Like if you want to do a higher range, a mid range, a low range, like you do the scales, and it gets you where you need to be.
Yo, for sure. And like running, I'm
cardio.
a big fan.
Dude, I'm big on cardio for vocals, just because you're expelling a lot of air. Like when you're screaming, you're throwing a lot of air out there. So you kind of need to like get that built up a little bit.
So man, if I'm ever doing like a guest vocal, I hope I ran that day, because my voice just feels 10 times more powerful if I've ran, which I guess opens my lungs up. I don't know really the science or why that works, but I just feel way more open.
Yeah.
And practicing those scales, like I'm not singing in way down, but I'm definitely doing screaming like I'm singing. And there's songs that are going to come out where I'm basically doing like pitch, maybe. It's still screaming, but like
pitch screams.
It's definitely me singing.
Yeah.
You know, if you know singing, you can hear it, but you do harmonies or like try to hit this note that you can't hit, running and all that stuff has helped.
Have you done the straw technique? I want to say John does that, or he has something.
I've heard of that.
Where you like blow into like a bottle of water or something like that, and you're kind of like essentially doing like the lip trill kind of thing, like the brrr, like those scales, but you do it through that, and it like forces you to use your diaphragm and like do stuff. Like I want to say I found that from a singer, and then Will Ramos. I watched his warm up, and he did that, and I was like, oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, dude, I will. I'll do that I say I will.
But like it can be like this much water in there, and then the more water, the more resistance. So the more it's gonna like push. So start with like a little bit and just kind of like blow, and then you could do like even scales like. But
I did that the other day going to the Rules show because I knew I was going to do guest vocals. So I did that literally going to the show.
Nice.
Hoping that it'd be good 2 hours later.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you don't nap, what I've always been told is like most people do it right before, but as long as like you don't nap, because essentially nap and sleeping like resets your voice. Like I guess whatever.
Oh, shit.
So like as long as you're awake and still going, you know, once you warm up, you should be good. In theory, okay. I mean, it could be different for different people because different warm-ups work for different people. That's one thing that's really cool.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'll try that.
All right. So you already mentioned honey, but do you do anything else for vocal care to take care of your voice?
I don't smoke anymore.
Good job.
So that's sick. Shout out Straight Edge. Not that I can think of. Okay. I know now what not to do as far as like trying to do something super extreme before I'm supposed to do vocals, aka blowing your voice before you're supposed to perform.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that. You know?
Yeah.
But that's basically it. I'm not a super pro guy. I listen to John and I did the Extreme Vocal Institute, like some courses through there, and I want to do like the Melissa Cross stuff, but I would lean on that.
Okay. Hey, it works. John knows what's up. He had a ton of really good insight. Like,
dude, he's Faja when it comes to.
He cracked me up. That whole interview was a blast. He's wild. It's a fun time. Really, really good time. Okay, we're gonna shift gears. Lyrics. I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
Where do you pull from? I mean, I already know the answer to this, but I'm gonna ask it anyways. Where do you pull from for lyrics? Personal, conceptual, hybrid? What is your go-to?
All of it's real. I won't say what anything specifically about because, like, hey, I want to say this song is about this, but I know that robs the listener of what they can kind of take from it, you know. So I'll hold back on all that, but and like, hey, I'm fitting the genre. Like, I could be much more metaphorical. You know, and I like that stuff. I like it when it's artsy and people are talking about crazy shit referring to something real. But the type of hardcore that I'm singing about is much more. My writing style is on the nose. You know, it's very like, no, I'm talking about this, and here's this line. Here's what I did, or it's a ton of shit that I learned through like the therapy self-help lane. So like there's songs that are going to come out that refer to psychology. I want to say, I don't know if In the Mirror and 722, 722 is just like, all of that is a true story and real events. Like, and I won't go further, like I said, not to rob anybody of like how they feel or what they think, but like that's all real. In the Mirror is very specific and real. It's not metaphorical. Some of it blurs between, it's not specifically one individual. I'm more so, I want, as corny as it sounds, I think In the Mirror is very reflective of like two specific individuals that have since passed and how I view that. So the reflection there. And then 722 is much more direct and specific. You know, but hey, I think interpretation's cool, and I can't wait to hear what people say. This meant this to me.
Yeah,
you know.
We had a reaction to the whole EP week or two ago. Guy was super nice to want to check it out. Liked our single, so he was like, "I'm gonna check out the whole thing." Surprised us with it, and he went in depth on lyrics, which not a lot of people tend to do, like reaction wise.
Yeah.
but he like dove into the lyrics, and I was really surprised how close it was to what it was actually meant. Like some of the stuff wasn't right, but he was hitting pretty close on all of it. And I was like, damn, okay, that's awesome.
Well, from the stuff I've heard from you guys, correct me, like I feel like it's much more like metaphorical, or like you're definitely talking about things in a much more creative, artistic way than me like talking about sitting in a car and staring at a place I no longer live at.
So the way we've done it
more poignantly.
TJ has rolled like he come up with like an, I don't really know how to describe it, like kind of an umbrella concept that like the EP's under, right? But none of the songs are conceptual. Like all the songs are very personal, and
versus like this song's about nothing.
Yeah. Like yeah, so it's about like family members and stuff, and very, very personal. And after we wrote the first song, I was like, you know, really therapeutic about it. I was like, I feel good about this. It was nice to say this and like kind of get that off my chest. And we just kind of snowballed with more of that, and there's definitely more coming. But he's keeping it under like everything's gonna be personal themed lyrically. Like something that like when I'm screaming, like my thing is if it's my voice and I'm screaming it, I want to feel it. I want to feel attached to what I'm saying. Like I want to be passionate about it, and I don't want it to be this like, and no shot at anybody for anything, but I want to like have that connection to it that like I feel what I'm saying. You know, like I'm not just phoning it in.
Don't know if you don't.
Yeah. So like everything's gonna be personal, but it's like a rolling concept to like tie, because our whole album from start to finish rolls together. So we're wanting to tie it where the next one will also roll together, like connecting. It's like one long big story with a bunch of personal things in between.
Hell yeah! That's
so
awesome.
Like one of them is about my father, my biological father, and it's just it's hateful. Like there's nothing nice in it, but it's what needed to be said. Like
dude, I'm not gonna rant. I can relate to all of that. And I think with lyrics, and I'm dealing with this personally right now as we roll out a lot of these songs. I've already gone through the how is this person gonna react to this, and you know, I don't think it's right when someone. And I don't think you're attacking anyone. I haven't heard the song that you're talking about, but like from my own perspective, like I'm not attacking anyone. I had an like figuratively talking about lyrics. I had these emotions that maybe people didn't want to talk about, and I didn't know where else to put it. And so I put it into something creative instead of letting it fester.
Yeah.
And it's okay for you to have those emotions, and it's okay for you to speak on it, especially if it's your point of view. So if anyone were to get mad at you for saying what you said, fuck them.
Yeah.
I literally believe in that. And because like you should be allowed to feel how you feel and say it and not be attacked for feeling what you're fucking feeling. You know, which is why you wrote the song.
Yeah.
Unless somebody's straight up getting attacked, and then they can be mad about it. I mean, guess, but
not really.
I'm sure you're speaking from your heart.
No 100%. The only person like
from their heart.
When we released it, it's funny. Like whenever I started recording vocals and they were like reading the lyrics, they're like, "Damn, you're pissed." I was like, "Yeah." And they're like. I was like, is that bad? Like, do we not need to be pissed? Like, do you want me to write about something else? Like, no. We love what you're doing. You go. Just go. Just get it out.
I can completely relate to that.
And of course, TJ being TJ, he was like, the madder, the better. Give me all the pissed offness.
Yeah,
like,
so he gets it. That's
he
cool.
knows. One song is actually TJ based. Like, it's not about TJ, but like, it's something TJ wanted to talk about, and us being family, 100%. Like we're actual blood family
100%.
That I knew kind of where he was coming from, and we kind of collaborated on it, and he gave me a theme. He was like, this is essentially what we're addressing. And I was like, cool. So I wrote lyrics and like got his approval. I'm like, this is what I have. He was like, perfect. This is my feelings to a T. Like, yes. And he was like, the madder, the better. keep being pissed off on it, bring it.
I love it.
Yeah, so
I love it.
it's been fun though.
And
Like it's yeah.
I can relate to a lot of that too because we had to separate some the songs that we have because um, our stuff has themes. I love concept albums and stuff, um, but I want to say our stuff more so falls under like a theme. And I didn't want I Miss My Grandma next to Fuck You.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so I gotta separate that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in our stuff, you know, and that's where like thematically you're gonna get not to give stuff away, but it's gonna be like it's like a different chapter or different
Yeah.
seasons or you know.
That's kind of like what we have the book theme, if you will. Like this
Yeah,
first one is
that's
grievances, and this is kind of like airing out some of our issues, if you will, I guess.
Yeah.
But the most nervous, you're talking about like kind of fuck what everybody else thinks. Probably the most nervous I've ever been to show a song was to my brother about the song about our father. Because I was just like, he deals with things different. He has interpreted things with like how things went down with my dad different. And I was just like, fuck, how's he going to take this? Like, is he going to be pissed off at me for what I'm saying? Like, is he going to embrace, like, I know your feelings? And he heard and he was like, I love it. That's perfect. And I was like, that's all I need. That's all I need. Like, I'm golden. Like, what everybody else thinks, nobody cares. And, of course, like, the band loves it. And so we're just like, all right.
Dude, and like I said, like you're allowed to feel how you feel, and when people get upset about that, I think they need to take a step back and like, damn, why is it so hard for somebody to take a step back and say, I wonder if I could understand where he's coming from. These are this person's feelings. Let me try to understand that instead of just putting them down for like, how could you, and basically telling them not to express themselves. Don't say that. Keep that in a box. Like, kind of discouraging it isn't strong enough word.
Yeah.
But like almost putting that fire out and saying, no, you can't say that. Control, you know?
But power of lyrics, man. It's we're not stopping anytime soon. We're definitely gonna be there's even more just I don't know. There's a lot of like anger in the band and like things that like we did not necessarily do in our previous bands that I'm like, you know what? This is what I want to talk about. This is for us. At the end of the day, like if no one listens, whatever. Like this is for me. You know, like if people listen, awesome. But I think that's kind of our mindset, and we're writing like that. And I have no like they're just setting me free. They're like, what do you want to talk about? And of course, I'm incorporating them because I want to make sure their voices are heard, their opinions. Like,
yeah,
I have a song about my dad. If they have something they want to say about something like in their life, I talk to them and we get like ideas back and forth and like give me a theme and then I'll write lyrics and like I'll help them and like we'll collaborate on together and see like what do you want to say, like, but I also have to feel it too. So it's kind of like but it's working though. Like it.
Dude, same thing. I've invited Jared to add his thoughts every step of the way.
It makes the process better, and I feel like it helps the band too. Because if like it's one thing like in previous like we wrote lyrics or whatever, and half the band probably didn't know what we were talking about. It was like, all right, whatever, you're screaming, whatever, just go. But this like, especially in songs like we feel the parts, like we all really are like they're tied to us, they're connected to us really well. Speaking of lyrics and the power, do you have a lyricist that inspires you?
This is why I'm a vocalist, man. Thomas Pearson from Foundation. He's my main influence. And like outside of Matt Brusso from Bury Your Dead, I'm a product of him and Thomas. And like, I've got my GOATs. I've got my like top 5, top 10. I've got my Mount Rushmore for sure. Thomas Pearson from Foundation. And now that I'm saying it live, like on recording, I hope I'm not getting his name wrong. You know, you second guess yourself.
Oh, yeah.
But he's the reason why Way Down is a band. He's the reason why I am a vocalist. And it's all because of what he said at the last show that I was not at. I knew Foundation was playing their last show when they did. I chose not to go because I didn't understand hardcore and I didn't know their band. And I'm glad I didn't because somebody that knew them went. And because I would have gotten a ticket somebody else couldn't have gotten.
Yeah.
And a fan of that band needed to go. But dude, do you want the backstory
Sure.
or is that good?
Yeah, no. Sure.
I was super depressed in my apartment in Tampa, sitting on the couch, and I was watching Hate 56. Shout out Hate 56, it's a YouTube channel. If you don't know what that is, YouTube it and go nuts. I watched Foundation's last show on that YouTube channel, and Thomas started their set by speaking. And a lot of people might not like that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk a little bit during our set. Some people won't like it. I fucking love it. And I'm not going to make it long-winded. It's going to be about the music and whatever we're touching on and why you like our band. It's not going to be random. But he talked about hardcore and how he saw a lot of things happening that he didn't agree with and how he didn't do anything about it, and called himself out in front of 1,000 fucking people, and basically said like how that was messed up and he should have been more vocal. And because it's his scene and it's our scene and it's a place for that we need to keep each other safe. And Matt Honeycutt from Kubla Khan, he used to say the set also goes out to people who stand up for the things that they don't believe in. And I couldn't support that more, because like a lot of people want to be like fair weather friends and like, oh, it's pretty and stuff, don't ruin this. But like when messed up things happen, people like turn away and like just kind of let it happen. So when Thomas said that, it really struck me at a certain time in my life, and this was 2019. And he basically said that and goes, I'm just gonna let this set speak for itself. We're Foundation. And they started, and people started stage diving to feedback. And I was like, I want to be a vocalist like that. That's exactly what I want to do. I got in my car and I went to the tattoo shop that I worked at. I sat in the parking lot, started an Instagram page, and said, yo, what's up? I'm starting an Instagram page for vocals. I'm going to track vocals on this separate from my tattoo page. And it basically started my journey of like taking vocals seriously. And yeah, all of that happened because of him.
Nice. I love that. That's an awesome story. The power of music, man, and vocalist, and just you never know what you say or write will mean to somebody. Like it's insane,
Dude, go ahead.
No, I mean it blows my mind. Like you could save someone's life, you could change someone's life, you could inspire them to do anything. Like it is so powerful, and that's the beauty of this. Like, and it doesn't matter if you're the biggest band in the world or if you're a band starting out, you don't know. Like, you don't know.
Yeah. It's what I looked for going to shows. I remember very vividly, like, I just didn't, maybe I wasn't listening to them, but I didn't feel like I was around the right people growing up that could instill in me things that mattered. I was around a lot of people that, like, wanted to get fucked up and like just nothing matters and lyrics don't matter, and they were doing dumb shit, and I didn't want to be around that. And so I went to shows alone all the time, and I still go to shows alone. And I always looked for a vocalist that was going to talk about things that mattered, like, and maybe that's boring to a lot of people, rightfully so, but hey, take care of your friends, take care of your family. Don't forget you got people depending on you, and for people to talk about sticking around, like the mental health thing. And I always wanted to find bands that talked about that versus like, hey, we're having fun, put your hands up. That don't really strike me in the same way.
Yeah. And I was all for like, shows are fun to play, but like I took it serious. Like I said before, I didn't know if there was a kid that had never seen us before in the back. I was going to give them everything I had vocally. And then if they come up and said hi, I'm not just going to be like, yo, what's up? And like, I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to try to connect with them. Cause you don't know what anybody's going through, and you don't, and
dude,
like,
for real.
You can earn that. To me, that's every fan counted. So like, I wanted to meet as many people as possible. I would chat with them. I would talk to them. If they message the band, if they comment on the band, I'm talking to them. I'm doing anything I can to like connect with people.
Dude, 100%. It's obvious to me I've told that story a ton, like what I just said to you, and it's apparent to me that I was just lost, and I was looking for a beacon,
Yeah.
rather than like bubblegum shit that was like, okay, put your hands up. Oh, yay, that was fun. Like, I wanted to hear people say how to have a better life, maybe, or like how to be a better person, and hey, maybe I should have just went to public speaking events or like found therapy and stuff like that. But at the time, like therapy was very taboo, and like I didn't know people going to speaking events or like who Tony Robbins was in the self-help lane. And I found that through music,
Yeah.
just like a lot of people do. And a lot of people say that like music is sad and all this stuff, but like all this sad music saves a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I'm just one of them.
Yeah. Man, it's amazing what it can do. Like it really is. All right. Hard question time for you.
Okay.
I'm
Sorry
excited.
I made it all heavy.
Oh no, dude, I love this. We are touching everything. We're going nostalgia. We're going heavy. We're just all around. We are like covering all bases, and this is fantastic.
I'm into it.
Do you have a favorite lyric? It can be one of your own, or it can be someone else's, or you can give me both. Whatever works.
Yeah. My favorite lyric is off the top of my head. Thomas Pearson from Foundation, and the lyric is, "It doesn't matter what we do is all that matters." So I'll say it one more time if that was too quick. It doesn't matter what we do is all that matters. So not that people need it explained, but like some people could say that's redundant. I don't get it. Doesn't matter what you choose to do, but whatever it is
will matter.
That's what matters.
Yeah, I love that.
And I'm like, duh! That hits me so hard. I'm gonna look it up real quick. It's off the New Faith. It's the last EP they put out because their band was breaking up, so they wrote an EP. It's called "Silence Above, Quiet Below" by Foundation. Another one would be from Adalia, if anybody's heard of them, from the Shedding Skin album. He says, "Truth is that without stability, I am pushed to insanity." And I think that one's really good as far as a lot of people live really comfy lives in 9-to-5s and they stay home. That wasn't my life for a long time. And when you're a gypsy and stuff, and you're moving place to place, and you don't have a home or a place to put your stuff, or like a stable life and stuff, that's hard. And then I've got a lot of like other lyrics that probably escape me right now. A lot of No Bragging Rights stuff. Shout out No Bragging Rights, got their hat. And a lot of like hateful stuff, sure too in there. A Day to Remember, fast forward to 2012, My Friends Come First. That's the bottom line. That was really impactful when I heard that freshman year when I was like 14. And then Acacia Strain, I was listening to them today, and it was off of Sinkhole, and off the, I want to say it's Step Into the Light. They released 2 albums, Failure Will Follow and Step Into the Light. One lyric off of that is Failure Will Follow wherever you may go. And I thought that was like really intense because it's not super sad to me, but just if you're trying and trying and trying and trying, you're failing a lot. You're losing a lot.
Yeah.
So that's powerful. And then he says, "The salt still stings. You ruined everything." And I'm just like, dude, I feel that shit.
Vincent is so good with lyrics. He's so clever with it.
Dude, he's awesome.
His name is mentioned a lot on this as like lyricist and like vocalist. I bring up his most recent one. The new song had just come out. It's like the last line I heard, and I was like, damn, that's a good line. Like, that's clever. It's like another one. Was it like Bury Me? Oh God, what is it? I got
Bury me with my head exposed so the whole world can watch me decompose.
Dude, I was like, that's so good. Like, I was like, God, why didn't I think of something like that? Like, damn you.
Dude, I was just like, I can visually see it.
Yeah.
You know?
He's good at that though. Like he's his whole career he's had those good like the lines and stuff that just
Oh, dude. Yes. And speaking of the Acacia Strain, they take No Cure out a lot. No Cure is a straight edge band
Yep.
from Huntsville, Alabama. Like, sorry if they're not from Huntsville. They're from
Are they?
Alabama.
I didn't know.
They're from Alabama.
Oh, that's sick.
I may have that wrong. Maybe it's Birmingham. I don't
They're
know.
they're out with it's them. Well, they may be done now, but
Acacia
it's
Strain
them, No Cure,
Ingrams
and
Body
Body Snatcher.
Snatcher.
Yeah, Body
Mhm.
Snatcher. God, I love Body Snatcher.
I wanted to go to the Atlanta date. I have a tattoo appointment that day and the next day. I want to stick to my word and do those tattoos, excuse me. But they have a song called Don't Need Your Help. And it says, don't want your fucking thoughts. Don't need your help. While you keep looking down on us, we do this by ourselves. And for way down doing everything DIY, you know, and for the people that have helped us, and me as a business owner in my whole tattoo career, I'm all by myself. So that hits me hard
Hell yeah.
because they don't have big label support. So that's sick.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Um. Okay, so I didn't ask you this earlier. We kind of got derailed, but
Sorry.
no, dude, you're fine. You play guitar before vocals. Did you play any other instruments?
No,
I know your brother's
like,
a drummer.
I would say bass, but like, dude, you played guitar, so of course you played
Yeah.
bass, you know. But I wasn't like slapping it, and I wasn't learning how to like finger pick or like Victor Wooten. I didn't
Yeah.
know who he was or like any of the cool shit on bass. The most I've played bass is writing the way down stuff because I wanted cool bass shit. The song we're about to put out, I think, has the coolest bass stuff I've ever written. Um, but because I was doing different stuff than the guitar was doing. So I was like, oh, this is crazy. Should I do this? And the answer was yes, because bass players typically do their own thing
Yeah.
or like they're tacked onto the rhythm section or the drummer. But I tried piano. I have a piano in front of me. I don't know how to play more than Twinkle Twinkle. And I have an electric kit behind me that Jared bought. And I want to learn how to play drums. I just don't do it.
Yeah.
So no, just guitar really.
Okay. Nice,
Yeah.
nice. All right. So, what tips do you have for new songwriters as far as like lyrically, patterns, cadence, flow, all that good stuff? What kind of advice
Yeah.
and tips can you give them?
What you mean by flow? Is that just like with cadence and
Yeah.
like how you're saying your words, or like? Okay, cool. So with cadence and flow, I would say listen to rap. I
Okay.
would pull from rap hard. It's like they know how to like ride a beat in like I don't even want to put a number on it. More than 10 different ways. And they showcase that because every other verse is a different flow. And even myself included, I've recorded songs and been doing lyrics, and it's like, cool, you need to switch this up. It's the same flow as the last one. So I would say rap shows you how to really change it and win. And yo, I'm going to put it out there. Deathcore is rapping. Like deathcore has the most lyrics, and they're like, this world is ours and we won't stand still. You know,
Yeah.
like Whitechapel. That's rapping, dude. And
Phil. Jesus.
Goodbye to the Gallows when keeping it real goes wrong. When Frankie did dude, that's 3-6 Mafia. I wanna stay high, dude, that's rap.
Yeah.
So like rap. I think country is fucking great. I think country shows people how to do storytelling really, really well, and not just. I don't want to say go read books on like writing and stuff, but which I've done, and it showed me how to like show, not tell. You know, maybe I might get a lot of hate for saying this. I think Morgan Wallen is a really good example of that because he has a song called 20 Cigarettes, and it's about his night with this girl, and he starts out with a full pack and it ends with one. And like he doesn't say, it basically leads you through like what he's doing that night and stuff, rather than he's like, I'm with a girl and we're smoking cigarettes. Like, that's boring. You don't do that. So like country is really good at storytelling. Rap is really good with flow and cadence for sure. Because if you're listening to the genre you're playing, you're probably going to sound like that band. I've gotten that a lot. I got roasted for it, and rightfully so in places. Other places I have my opinions on. But if you listen, I'm a student of like relatively what's out now. So I have stopped listening to all current music because I don't want to rip it. I
Yeah.
don't want to rip their stuff. I don't want to sound like them because I learned let them have their thing. So that's advice I would give too, is let someone else have their thing. Don't do the cool thing. Let someone else do it. Don't jump on trends like everyone else is doing. Um, which cool, like oh was a thing, and then it was blah, and then it was ooh, and then now it's like tunnel throw, or like, hey, leave the vocal Olympics to somebody else. I'm not into it. It's super cool if you can do a pterodactyl noise and all this TikTok shit, or whatever. Um, I think finding your voice will happen if you record enough songs, for sure. Uh, and I would say write and record your own songs, because do 20 to 30 and you'll start finding like your thing. And then you'll get stuck on certain tricks. I think that's the hardest part, is when you develop certain tricks and then you're like, how do I get out of this? And so always finding new things to do and not doing the same thing over and over and over, because you'll have a style and people will know it's you, but you have to do new things. You know, Phil Bozeman, he was doing crazy shit, and then he had like his Tool experimental era where he was like singing, and then now he's going back to crazy. So he's got different tools in the bag, right? I've heard people bash some of my favorite bands for doing the same thing, which I disagree with them, but I guess I can see where, oh, this vocalist hasn't changed over 5 albums. So I get it. Um, and then lyrically, I would say tell the truth. That's all I got. Tell the fucking truth. Don't talk about things you don't do. Easy example is like, if you're not from the hood, don't talk about the hood. That's in rap. If you don't live that life, don't talk about it. And talk about what you know. It'll be more authentic. If you want to be real and raw, talk about it real and raw and what you actually know. And some people may say, oh, this kid's not like this, but they don't know if you are or not. So you have to sell it. I think you can conceptually, that's super cool if you write about things that are fictitious. I think that's great. I've always been struck by things that felt real. Although some of my favorite lyrics talk about battle, and I have never carried a sword, dog. Like I ain't got a sword. My sword is sheathed. I ain't never been in battle. I don't wear chainmail, so even though I got the Sauron shirt on right now. So like, you don't have to be super on the nose. You know, you don't have to say my dog died. You know, but you can maybe learn how to write about it in like a more poignant way, like we were talking about. You can be, and that goes into writing styles. Like some get into poetry, read books, read tons of books, learn what type of writers you like. Do you like whimsical stuff, like, oh, Doth was frothing through this meadow, or do you like books like The Martian, where he goes, the first words in The Martian is I'm fucked. You know, so like you choose your adventure, you know, and I think about your like I've said, I've talked about Morgan Wallen, I've talked about rap, 3 6 Mafia, and I'm applying a lot of this to heavier genres, you know, like I really like Noah. I think Stick Season and all that stuff is really awesome. I really like Mike Posner, huge, big time. Um, I like Kid Leroy and all this stuff. And Kid Leroy is very like straightforward, like, "Oh, you broke my heart, bitch," you know. And hey, that's cool too. I think the tough guy like oh, you a bitch is like, I think that's so played out. That shit's whack. Like, sometimes people got nothing else to say, and it shows. And yo, last thing I'll say about it, Will Smith's grandma got a hold of his diary. Do you know this story?
I don't.
Will Smith's grandma got a hold of like his lyric book, like his raps, you know? And he was like, "Oh shit, I'm in trouble," because all he was doing was cursing in it. And she said that like when you have a limited vocabulary, you're just gonna curse. So she wasn't really mad at him. She just expected him to be smarter. Like, why aren't you using better words here and stuff? What I've learned in like therapy in the self help realm has definitely helped me write about my feelings and um, maybe think about where you're writing from, the place you're writing from, because like you could write from a blaming standpoint, you could write from a victim mentality, you could, which like, that Acacia Strain lyric where it said, "The salt still stings, you ruined everything." He's talking about being hurt. I don't want to say that's exactly what Vincent meant, but being hurt by what someone else did, I want to say is technically a victim thing, and I don't always want to write from that place, So like thinking, and I love that song, love that band. That's not shade to them. It's just something I noticed. So like thinking about where you're writing from and just being honest and stay on topic. Don't talk about a garden and then talk about space afterward. Like stay on topic. Like whatever you're, like you said, theme, airing out grievances with your band. You're not going to talk about, oh, we're stoked now. This is a happy song in
Yeah.
this.
There's no
Maybe
happy
there's
songs.
a silver lining, but yeah, I hope that helps. I hope that's a ton of like
Nice.
value for anybody that's watching.
Hell yeah. And you touched at one point about finding your own voice. I think that's one of the most important things vocalists can do. Like it's cool to take inspiration from whoever and anybody, like vocally, like, oh, that's cool. But there's, and I've said this a million times, there's already a Phil Bozeman. There's already, a Vincent. Like, these people already exist. You don't need to imitate them to a T. Maybe take inspiration on things they do you like, implement it in your voice, but find you. Make you the first whoever. Don't try to be someone else.
Yeah.
And that will help you stand apart too. Like, it's cool if you can do the cover, props, awesome. It's great. Do it, whatever. But as far as making your own mark, be you.
Facts. Yeah. Agreed. Completely agreed.
Nice. That was a great answer. So, this next question, I don't know how we're going to do this. Usually, because you haven't got to play a show yet with Way Down, so
hit it.
It's Kyle Medina inspired.
Yeah, Body Snatcher. Shout out. Right?
It's inspired by him and Adam D from Killswitch.
Okay.
And it's, do you have a favorite call out? Because some people just do the your regular call outs, and then we have the Kyle Medina ones that are like the completely off the wall, stuff's about to get ignorantly heavy, and he just says some random stuff, and you're like, wait, what? And then it just all goes crazy. Like,
I love that stuff too. As much as I was just saying lyrics matter, I love the stuff that doesn't too. Like,
oh yeah, I think it's something about it to me. Like, a part's heavy, and instead of just being like the normal stuff, they throw like something completely random that causes people to almost like glitch for a second because they're like, all right, Mark, wait, what? And then they're like, okay, like.
But if you have that wait what moment, you might get clocked.
Yeah,
so
it is, and so
really
it's hilarious to me because you're just like, wait, what did he just say? What just happened?
I like to say, and I don't know who's watching, so I'll put baby ears on for everybody if they're super sensitive. I think you got to go full R word when you hear something crazy. I'm not going to say the word so y'all get all mad and like cancel somebody, but if you say something full R, you gotta go crazy, and you can't think about it. You can't be like, did he just say that? It's either you're going to start laughing or you ain't got it. So Did you see Kyle's post the other day for Body Snatcher? He was asking the crowd, like the line outside.
Yes. Yeah, about the.
And he was like, "What's your favorite mosh call?" And I'll say it tonight or something. And he goes, "I'm old. What's a mosh call?" And he goes, "I'm old. What's a mosh call?"
Dude, Kyle is the best. He such a good dude. Hard working too. They bust their ass. Like those dudes grind.
So I think about this a lot as far as like it's gonna have to be in the moment. I'm not really gonna think up like a speech. Maybe the day of I'll be like, I'm gonna say this, and
Yeah, I think it needs to be organic. You can't just go up there and be like, I'm gonna say whatever line. Like this will be a funny off the wall. Like I think it has to be you're feeling the crowd, what's there then.
Oh, I'm gonna impress everybody when I say this. That sucks. You know. One that exactly comes to mind is from the Muse. Full circle moment here. It's from the Muse, 2008. Recon is playing. Shout out Mike. Mike from the Acacia Strain played in Recon at the time. He's Daddy Riffs right there. That's my boy. They were playing 13. It was in 2008 at the Muse. It was a hot summer day. And it was sweaty up in there. And we're in gym shorts. Some people ain't got shirts on. And we're getting belligerent in there. And the only people in that room probably were people who were really down. Because, like, it was crazy. They're playing 13. And if anybody knows that song, you know what I'm talking about. And it gets to the middle where they're about to do the... And it's a breakdown. It's a crazy part. It slows down. It's nuts. But they stop. And the vocalist just looks at everybody and he goes, "Hey, yo, I see everybody dropping from the heat. I want to see people drop from people packing heat." And I don't think he said, "Let's do this" or something. But right at that moment, he goes, and I see this dude literally jump up the side of the crowd like he's going to crowd kill somebody. And the lights go out. And I hear ding, da, 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 and I just moshed to survive at that point. And so, like I just said, drum fill, or they stopped playing. He said some hard shit. I want to see people drop from people packing heat, and he meant. And I see this dude go for the crowd kill, drum fill, lights turn off, full chaos. You can't see who's hitting you. It was probably the scariest moment I ever remember. And when the lights came on, people were getting up or they had survived, you know? But that was probably the craziest thing I've ever seen off the top of my head. Other than that, it's fuck this place up. Matt Brusso stands out in my head from the DVD Chain Reaction where he gets smacked in the head with the guitar. Second song in. And
survives the whole set just bleeding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just gushing blood, dude.
Dude. And he said, "We're bury your dead and I want to see some fucking violence." You know, so I like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people I'm friends with don't like that. I know a lot of people that talk down about it, but they talk down about it not at the show. And they talk down about it from outside the venue and not in the venue. Maybe standing in the back with their arms crossed instead of in the pit. You know what I'm saying? So that was sick. And then I've heard people say like, some of Kubla Khan's is the funniest. Like, "Yo, peacock for your lady."
Yeah,
and,
Matt's got some really good ones.
So like it goes from like really aggressive stuff to very silly ones.
Yeah.
You know? I love it all. I love it all. If you tell me to mosh, I'll mosh. That's all I need is for you to say, "Hey, you, mosh." And it's like, "Yep, clocked in." Is what I came for.
Got a fun sports-inspired question for you. So, getting ready for the studio, are you superstitious? Do you have any, like, pre-show or pre-studio rituals you have to do? And that could be anything from, like, I need to wear this pair of socks. I need to, like, drink this Gatorade.
Am I jinxing myself by answering this question?
Hopefully not. Dude, I think
not.
we're
That's
all,
I
to
thought.
an extent, like, it's not as bad as, like, athletes, I feel like. But I feel like a lot of musicians for shows, like, it's not going to break the show, and you'll probably perform well. But I think it's like that placebo effect. Like, you do this, and you're like, okay, I'm good. I'm good. This,
So So pre-ritual before like a guest vocal, like I said earlier, was running. Like getting some form of cardio in. My voice always feels 10 times better. Every time I recorded, my voice was better. And my main thing, especially before I run, like a half marathon or like if I were playing, the focus is don't get hurt or mess something up to where you can't do the thing. So that I don't really have like a shirt or like a crazy level thing yet like that. It would just be like just make it to the show to make sure you can do the thing, and then yeah, just don't eat before the set. I've heard is the move.
Yeah.
Don't dry out your voice. Drink plenty of water. Stretch.
Okay.
Food beforehand so you're not starving. Also use the bathroom.
Yeah. Okay. That works.
Yeah.
All right. So what can we expect from Way Down coming up?
Yeah, so Way Down has a lot more music coming out. We recorded a lot of music and we're just putting it out almost very consistently. I'll just put it that way.
Okay.
By the time this episode airs, we should have our third song out.
Sick.
And we're very excited about it. We've been sitting with these songs for a long time and they almost didn't come out, and I'm really grateful that they are. We are looking for a guitar and bass player, and if we found them, then sorry I said that, but we are currently looking for a guitar player and bass player that is down to fucking rock and wants to play some cool music that I think is good.
Requirements, I'm assuming, need to be around Nashville area.
Yeah. Need to be able to get here, you know.
Okay. Best way to contact you guys is through the band's Instagram, or?
Yeah, best way to contact us. I mean, if you want to talk about band stuff, contact the band Instagram for sure. We've got an email. I haven't put that in the bio like every other band does, which is super pro, and I just haven't done that. But if you want to talk about band stuff, band Instagram for sure. Okay. We have a YouTube channel where our music videos and the audio videos, like just like a playthrough of the song.
Yeah.
Those are on there. Spotify will always be up to date on what songs are out. We have plans of playing as soon as we find members. We're going to be playing live. That's our aspirations. And we've got music coming out consistently through the beginning of next year.
Nice.
So I will just say that.
Stoked.
And I plan on being. If you go to Nashville hardcore shows, you're gonna see me at one for sure. I plan on being at as many as I can be. I want to do as many guest vocals as I possibly can before Way Down starts playing. We don't have merch yet, but we will at one point. Outside of that, we're going to put our music out and hopefully play live soon. But there's more stuff coming from us, more music videos and like the content stuff until we can play live.
Hell yeah. And all the links will be down in the description. Go check them out. Go follow them. Go show love. Do it because you need to, and why wouldn't you? Dude, I'm stoked. I can't wait to hear the new songs. I can't wait to see you guys live, and planning on some shows, going to some shows later this year. So there's some ones coming through I definitely want to be checking out. So hopefully I'll see you up there.
Hell yeah.
At the shows. Dude, it's been a blast. It's been a lot of fun.
Dude, this was awesome.
You've officially made me miss the Muse even more. I
drive past it all the time, and I'm like,
every time I see the Dominoes, I'm like, damn, the memories that were there.
Dominoes,
if you only knew.
Yo, you know how much I've heard that?
Dude, it's
like I've heard that from so many people, and my buddy Blake, shout out Blake. We need a shout out counter. I'm notorious for that. Blake sent me Haley Williams' story from Paramore that she was posting about the Muse the other day. And she passed by it, took a picture of the Dominoes, and then posted a YouTube video sideways like she's a boomer or some shit in her story, which is like, oh, we're going to hold this horizontal now? What the fuck, Haley? Get with the times. But it was a video of Logan describing the venue. So, like... Wow. Dude, she a real one for that. That's crazy, bro.
Which they're originally from Franklin?
Something like that.
Somewhere up there, right? Paramore?
What I've come to understand is, like, there's undercover gangsters in, like, every scene. Like, somebody's from the hardcore scene that, like, works for Nickelback or, like, is in Paramore or, like... Dude, you never know.
Dude, the Muse was a staple. Like that's where your shows are at. Rocketown will get some big ones, but
Yo, straight up, I
if you
think a
wanted
venue-
the heavy like the good stuff, like you got the bigger kind of like you said the AP shows more Rocketown. They would choose more of those. But
Yo, a
man,
venue that doesn't get enough love back in the day was the Anchor. I don't hear a lot of people talk about them. Did you go there?
I think we played once there.
Hell
We
yeah,
didn't get
we
much.
played there as much as the Muse. Their booker Jesse Kevin, wherever he's at, he was very kind to us. I remember doing my math homework up in the balcony. It was an old church. We played with War of Ages there. We played with Gwen Stacy in Fear and Faith and Our Last Night there before
Nice.
they became a cover band. We asked to get on the Have Heart Verse show, and he was going to let us do it, but we didn't. And I'm so glad we didn't because we weren't fit for that. But like, yo, Have Heart played the Anchor. That's pretty wild. And hardcore bands played the Muse too. So like, shout out both those venues. Do you care if I shout out venues that are really dope right now?
No.
All right. So Arcane Workshop, that's a card shop in Madison that plays like tabletop games
I
and
think
like Dungeons
Nick from
and
Divisive
Dragons.
told me about that place.
Dude, that place is the shit. That place is like the Muse Reborn. That's the beatdown venue.
Okay.
All respect to Arcane if you're watching. I don't mean that a ton. It's okay or it's safe. But like that's the venue where you're gonna mosh and nobody's gonna break it up, and that's sick. The End is super dope. I haven't been there in a long time. I haven't seen stuff pop in there a lot.
It's been a long time since I've been to the End.
Dude, same. I don't know what's up with that, but people are just booking elsewhere. I've been going to Basement East a lot. So Basement East has great shows. That free show in the parking lot of Basement that had Shogun, Twin Stacks, Die Trying, No Cure, Orthodox. That I hope I didn't leave anybody off. That show was nuts in a parking lot. Follow Jukebox Booking, Bad World Anarchy, and Bad World Booking. Those two booking companies on top of Iconoclast Zine, and follow Nashville Hardcore on Instagram. That will keep you completely up to date with everything happening in the Nashville hardcore scene and everything that's happening for us. Pay attention to the bands that are coming out right now. Can I shout out some bands?
No, dude, shout out whoever.
Dude.
Yeah, there's.
All right. So, Rules of Engagement, Officer Down, Head Trip just played, Dogpile just put out an EP. Article 5 is fucking dope. You got Heart Attack. I haven't seen them yet, but homie owns Gorilla Biscuits. That's fucking sick. That's a vegan biscuit spot if you want to go check out some cool shit and get some food. Damn. Man, that's all I got off the top of my head. That's all I got. But those are Nashville hardcore bands. Those are places to follow. Those are venues that are dope. And there's a scene happening here, and a lot of people are being a part of it. Also, the 1968 or 58 in Basement, Eastside Bowl.
Oh yeah, Eastside. Yeah.
Eastside Bowl main room is really cool, but the 58 on the side that looks like a little diner, that spot's fucking dope for shows. And then, of course, you got AMP and Booking. Forgot to say them. They're on there too. If you follow all of that, you'll know exactly what's going on in the scene and become a part of it. Start a band with your friends. Put all your friends in a car. Go see shows. Learn how to mosh. Learn how to sing. Participate. We need more kids that keep this thing going in 4 years when all these kids go off to college and they forget about it. So.
Oh yeah. You forgot to plug one thing. Your
What?
tattoos. What? Come on now.
Oh.
You got to plug your business.
Yeah, well, I'm a tattooer, and I own a shop called Courage Tattoo Company. It's on East Trinity Lane. If you want to come get tattooed, you can reach out through @EvanQ on Instagram. I also have a website that's for scheduling appointments if you want to go that route. But all of my portfolio can be seen on Instagram. And I do everything from new school, neo-trad, traditional, to black stipple work that's traditional, to black and gray. And I love doing like Gothic lettering and script type stuff. I tattoo here in Nashville. And yeah, my shop is called Courage Tattoo Company.
Oh yeah. There we go. I love it. All right, how we like to end this, I like to give you the floor, and you kind of already been inspiring everybody, but maybe there's a vocalist out there. They're wanting to become a vocalist. Maybe they've never picked up the mic. Maybe they've never wrote lyrics. So they're aspiring, or maybe it's someone that's been kind of going a little bit. They're learning, they're kind of feeling it, and they need help getting out of that rut and like level up. Or even a veteran that's been doing it, however many years, and this can maybe help level up. What kind of inspiration or words of wisdom can you give the vocalists out there?
The clock is ticking. Your friends are going to get older. They're going to get more serious about whatever shit they're fucking doing, and people aren't going to want to play. You need to do it now, and you need to figure it out. You don't need to wait till everything is perfect. You do not need every resource at your disposal. If you need money, sell some shit, figure it out. If you can't do that, figure out how you can do something else. Learn how to record. It's very simple to get a Scarlett Focusrite interface. You can use GarageBand, which is free. If you can sell some stuff and get a simple Mac, that is great. You can get a simple keyboard or use your keyboard for your computer to MIDI your stuff. You don't need a lot to learn how to record. You can even record off an iPhone. Start a band with your friends. If you're in high school, that's perfect because you have more time than you will as an adult with kids and a career and all that stuff. Take advantage of the time that you have. Start now because in 4 years, the scene might change. It might not be here. The internet, the landscape is all going to change. Do it because if you wait, whatever pressure you're under right now is not as bad as regretting it. I promise you. And the pain you're going to feel right now is it's not as bad as the pain and the time you're going to feel that you can't get back, if that makes sense. So if you waste time, that's going to hurt. But if it's hard right now, at least you still have that time, if that makes sense. So do it now. Even if it sucks, it probably doesn't suck. You're probably in your head. Your mind is your worst enemy. It's a great servant and terrible master, your mind. So use your mind, figure it out, learn how to do vocals or learn how to play drums, learn how to play guitar or find your friends, start a clothing company or get involved. If you want to do vocals, practice the songs, practice in your car, practice in your garage, practice in your room, practice in your bathroom, practice on your way to work. Do stupid noises everywhere you can fucking think and don't care about what someone else thinks, because here's my best advice. If you were around a singer, they would be like, oh, I get what he's doing. I understand what he's doing. He's singing or he's screaming. So if anybody ever puts you down for what you're doing, they've never stepped on stage and they're not a singer, or they're bitter and jaded and you don't want to become like them. So if anybody puts you down, they have never been where you're trying to go. And anybody that has been would understand what you're doing and would support you whether you sounded like trash or not. They're not going to put you down. Do not become a bitter old jaded dude. And don't waste a lot of time not putting your stuff out. Don't wait till it's perfect. Do what you can with what you got.
I love it. As someone that's been around the scene for a long time, how is it doing a band, starting a band specifically? Because I'm going through this now compared to the golden days that we keep talking about, the nostalgia days back, when you're handing out flyers and you're doing all that. I mean, MySpace, now it's social media and content and trying to reach all these people on these different platforms and bases and algorithms, and it's so different. What is your experience like with that now compared to, walking around downtown handing out flyers like, hey, come to this show Saturday night or whatever,
Dude, I think it's better than it's ever been.
Okay.
I think, and hey, I miss that too, and all that stuff. And I think it applies to today. Do not rely on the internet to create your success. Do not think that going viral means you can stop working. If you've ever played baseball or football, one touchdown or one home run did not mean you won the game. It can decide the game in the end, but this isn't sports, So no matter the hit you get, you have to step up to the plate again and again and again and fucking again. And it doesn't matter how tired you get. Take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, you won't get very far. You can run yourself into the dirt, and that's cool. And I hope whatever you did worked. But take care of yourself. Keep stepping up to the plate. Keep going to bat. Don't rely on others to do it for you. Use this tool on the internet, because like you're saying, like, flyers are super awesome and that's so cool, but I can reach so many more people off of one post. But it doesn't negate handing out flyers at the local venue when they get outside and you're like, hey, new Nashville band, check us out, check us out, check us out. Granted, a lot of those might end up on the floor, and that's wasted time versus one post.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt. You never know who you handed that flyer to. And yeah, I think it's easier now because for some reason, Way Down has reached people in like other countries, and I'm sure you guys have too.
Yeah.
So like that wouldn't have happened back then.
How wild is that, by the way? Like, I get the analytics. I'm like, wait, they're listening to us where?
Everyone's got a phone. You got a phone. So film your music video. Get some video editing program. Honestly, what I've found is the raw, real content goes farther than any of the 4K cool shit. I've even noticed it with our stuff. The really polished stuff doesn't go as far as the like super, super raw stuff. So don't get down on yourself if you don't have the 8K Netflix like stuff or the best cameraman. Do stuff yourself. Yeah, that's what punk and hardcore is founded on. Do it yourself. Raise the money, create a team. And if you don't know social media, find somebody that does. Delegate those tasks. If someone in your band is good at social media, let them do it. If someone is good at recording, let them do it. If someone's good at writing, let them do it. Write your own lyrics, I would say, versus like someone write them for you. But like you said, getting TJ's perspective on a song, I think that's great. If the drummer wants to talk about something, fuck yeah, let's roll with it. I think that's awesome. Another big thing I would say about being in a band is it's not an ego battle. I think a band should have a direction, and I think a band should stay on topic and know what it's talking about. So when people want to maybe take a left turn that isn't what that band is, don't get upset. Keep playing in that band and doing that thing, and you yourself can go start another project just like that band had to. And you can create that into the thing you want to express that maybe isn't this thing. That's why a lot of actors act and direct their own movie, because I'm sure they wanted to change their lines or these scenes. And it's like, yo, you can't change the movie. Go write your own movie. And I'm saying this from a perspective of a person that's had to do all of this myself. No one wrote the music for me. No one Randy, shout out Randy, I love you, dog. Randy recorded the songs that we're putting out now. Here's a backstory. When I approached Randy, I sent him the most unprofessional shit ever. I sent him a voice memo of me screaming over a song and saying, this is what my voice sounds like. It wasn't even one of our songs. It was a cover. And then I sent him like random riffs and was like, you want to record me, dog? And he was very kind and said, I want to hear your stuff demoed out first. And I didn't know anyone who could demo for me. I don't know if I had the money for that at that time, and I didn't know anybody. And so I was like, how am I going to do this? So I sold tattoos at a flat rate to get the money. And I hope everyone laughs at this. I bought a MacBook. I drove to Atlanta to go get it from the Apple store. I got it. I bought the Charlie Puth, the pop singer. Yes, Charlie Puth. I bought his like songwriting seminar thing where you're a part of their community and you submit hip hop. I basically learned how to record songs through his seminar, and we wrote pop songs, but people critiqued it. I didn't finish the class. I got that far, and then wrote and recorded the 15 songs we went into the studio with for Way Down. That got trimmed down into a different number. Write more than you're going to put on a project. Write a ton. But I recorded all of that, saved the money, and then re-hit up Randy and said, hey, dog, I now have your rate, and here's the demos. Do you want to work with us? And he was like, yeah. So don't make excuses as I don't know how to record, learn how to record. I don't have a band. Shit, I don't either, dog. It's me and my brother. That's
It's
all we
accessible to
got.
record now. Back in the day, it was not. You literally couldn't really do demos. You had to go to the studio to like get anything. Like you would just have rough tracks somewhere on some crappy program that you couldn't release.
That
Now
yeah,
there's DAWs of all kinds. Like you can get Reapers. I think Reapers free. I think.
okay, Reaper's free.
Like there's tools out there for you.
The Scarlett Focusrite is like $100 at Guitar Center or something like that, and then you can get like a cheap MacBook, or I don't know what other like computers can process that CPU. But I'm not a tech guy or said that right, but you have to get a computer that can run the programs you're trying to run. But like you said, Reaper's free, and the Scarlett Focusrite is like $100 something bucks. Save up $1,200, sell some shit, get that money, and yeah, write your shit. And if you can't write music, don't make excuses. Make time. Learn how to do it.
Okay, love it. And something to be said too about that old school mentality of like handing out flyers, that like put your head down and just work. Like carried over even for like us that have been around for a long time. Like I think that mentality still definitely applies. Like you got to put the work in.
It matters more, I think. Like, yeah, I can reach more people on a post, but I would say, oh, that guy handed me a flyer.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I'll go see his band, maybe not, right? But like if I went to the show, I might say that to the person I came with. Oh, their vocalist gave me a flyer at this show.
Yeah.
And like you might go to their next show, you might buy a shirt. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know?
I use that mentality for like content and everything else. I'm just like, I'm going to keep working because it's how I know how to promote a band, is keep grinding.
Dude, it's so much work. In like a positive way. It'll reflect what you put into it. And yes, people can go viral off of something simple, and that's cool and good for them. But the thought process between like, and you don't have to think this far, like people watching, but you know, what is the idea behind your band? What's it look like? What's it sound like? What is the visual aesthetic? What are you trying to convey through this message? Are your lyrics in alignment to that? What's the cover art look like? Is your merch going to be similar? All of these things that people don't think about make sense why my homies in bands are like, dog, I got no money because this stuff costs money.
Yeah. Bands are expensive. They can definitely get expensive
famous
quick.
Don't mean you're rich.
Yeah.
So like, also my biggest piece of advice is be involved in your scene. If you don't go to shows, don't expect to be put on shows. We tacked onto that about the Muse. Like we were at shows, we played them, we were probably bright-eyed and like bushy-tailed, smiling at everybody, and just seemed excited to be there. And I think promoters saw that. You know?
Can't. People aren't going to come support you if you don't support them. You can't just like expect to receive all the time without giving back and like going and supporting people.
I'm only going to go to the shows I play.
Yeah. That doesn't work.
Yeah, screw
Hell
that.
yeah, man. It has been a great conversation. And like I said, now I officially miss the old days and the Muse and all the good times that were had back then.
Dude, hell yeah. Hey, they're still happening. The scene right now, I think, is on fire.
Dude, I can't wait. I'm stoked. I'll be in touch about some shows, and hopefully we'll link up and watch some good music soon.
Dude, absolutely, please.
But again, everybody check out the links down below. Show Evan's band some love, and keep your eyes out for new music and hopefully some show dates, and come mosh for him. Hopefully some good stuff.
Definitely come mosh.
Mosh it up for him. But thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time and for being on here. It's been a blast.
Dude, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for watching or listening to this episode of Behind the Vocals featuring Evan Qualls of Weighed Down. Please be sure to check out all the links down below to go show Weighed Down some love, as well as stream their songs, check them out, and keep an eye out for new announcements for shows and music coming your way soon. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Be sure to also check out Evan's Tattoo Studio and Instagram for all those inquiries. And if you're interested in potentially trying out or joining Weighed Down, hit up their Instagram about that as well. I really appreciate all you guys and gals watching and listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.